fuck you doing?
Remember that name? Good Pizza with 3 Z's, baby. 3 Z's.
What's up, fam? It's your boy JP, Good Pizza. Yo, check this out. This week we got a very special guest, the homie Ellie from Surf's Up Exotics. Yo, this fella grew up in the Outer Banks, North Carolina. If you ever been there, it's a wonderful place to go visit. Anyway, he grew up surfing and growing cannabis. And those two things took him all around the world and landed him back in Santa Cruz, where now he continues his operation of growing fire cannabis. He's very well known for the strain, and my favorite strain of his, Permanent Waves, his own pheno of Permanent Marker. He's making noise. He's in many states. He's killing it, man. All you need to know is when the packs land, Surf's Up. We'll see y'all on the show. Well, shit. Thanks for coming through and taking your time to share your story with us, man. I appreciate you coming through the show, dog.
Thank you, man.
So much, man.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be up here with the Good Pizza crew.
Yeah,
and
man.
I watch this podcast all the time. I really get into the all the questions you be asking. There's some good questions.
Oh, cool. Guys. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. My stone thoughts come to life. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, I'm super curious about your story, man. I love when I get to know my guests on my show because I'm generally more curious about the story. So let's start at the beginning before we go into the cannabis and the surfing. What was life like for young Ellie Surf's Up?
Man, I was super blessed from day one.
Yeah? Let's talk about it.
I grew up on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. It was just like one of the most beautiful places on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Like, tourists come every year for vacation, but I got to grow up there, live there, go to school there. And my pops, he put me on a surfboard when I was a baby. So he put me in the ocean, got me swimming as like 2 years old. I'm swimming in the ocean.
Wow.
My little sister, my dad, me, my mom, we just hang out at the beach. There's not a lot to do over there.
Sure.
You know, back in the 80s, there wasn't much going on other than fishing, tourism, surfing. Yeah. So we just got a life at the beach. Growing up at the beach was
unreal.
Blessed, man.
Hell yeah.
Eating fish, you know, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then, like, as I'm getting older into, like, school, I was playing sports, you know, a lot of baseball, football, basketball.
Nice, dude.
All that.
Did it all.
Trying to keep it entertained because not much happening out there.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, and the Outer Banks is, like, very seasonal, like the Jersey Shore.
Like the Jersey Shore, yeah, it's dead during off-season.
You get, like, 6 months of solitude.
Yeah.
And then you get, like, 6 months of, like, the rush.
Yep.
And so we had that, like, kind of bipolar kind of
existence.
Economy, you know?
Economy too, yeah.
Yeah, because it would be like you got all your money saved for the summer, and then everyone's like holding that money and trying to conserve for the next couple months.
Yep.
So like my family, you know, we never had too much, but Pops, he was a builder. My mom, I grew up in a health food store.
Oh, no shit.
So my mom was like, they're on their hippie shit. They came to Cali in the 70s, and they came back to the East Coast, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do a health food store. And my mom got into doing massage therapy.
Oh, cool, man.
So one of my, you know, early memories is growing up in the health food store with all the hippies and all these people working. And one of my main man, one of my mentors in life was my brother Al. Al's from Jamaica, full Ross, dreads down to the floor, telling me like, yo, kid, Santa ain't real. Your mom, she's the one. You got to give her a hug, bro. Like, she does a lot of work, you know. Santa, this tooth fairy ain't coming. Like, you know, he started giving me this.
He broke it down.
At like 5, 6 years old, he's like, look, man, this is all a facade.
That's young to find out Santa ain't real, dog. Bro. That's devastating.
And then, like, older friends and stuff started telling you stuff like that, too. But, you know, brother Al, he really kept it real with me. And,
cool, man.
And later on in my life, he actually was my teacher at massage school when I was 18.
Is that right?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
And we still stay in touch to this day.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah,
that's cool, man. Shout out to Al.
Al's a legend, man. Shout out to Al, bro.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Al, man.
Everybody on the Outer Banks knows Al.
He sounds like a fella everybody would know on the Outer Banks.
He told me about the herb at a young age, too. He told me that, you know, this is for adults, but this is something that's a healing herb, and, you know, don't listen to all the bad stuff they're going to say about it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what that meant at the time.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I was like, listen to Al. You know?
Yeah. You know what I noticed, bro? I know a lot of dreads and shit from the East Coast and, like, you know, from Jamaica or whatever. And a lot of the older dreads, man, they had such a simple way of explaining things about life and about herb and just, like, principles that, like, go against, like, the grain of, like, you know, common thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
And I was always well received by me. You know, like
Me
how
too.
it was with you. You know
Me
what I'm
too,
saying?
bro. I like to hear the truth.
Same.
There's too much nonsense.
Yeah.
Kids
yeah,
can realize it's full of shit too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so brother Al was like, "Yo, give your mom a hug, man. She's been working hard to buy these gifts."
Yeah, it's cool,
So-
man. It's cool.
So I always remember that. But mom will keep the charade going for a little while for
Yeah,
my little
come on.
sister and all that.
It's fun.
But no, I grew up like eating seafood and playing sports and all that. And then as I got like a little bit older, it was time to work.
What was high school like? Is this the high school days?
This is like middle school.
Gotcha.
Like that's like the first time I started smoking weed around
Okay.
13, like 7th grade or something like that.
All right, well, let's get that out the way. Let's hear the first time
that's
smoking
how. I
story.
mean, that's changed my life probably.
No
you know?
doubt.
But like just on the school bus, the older homies were like, "Yo, you wanna try some weed today?" I'm like, "Shit, I guess if that's what we're doing, let's go."
Buckle up.
So we hop out of the bus, we go up to the friend's house. He probably like stole some, this is like Mexi brick, probably
Oh, yeah.
from his dad. He probably stole some, and
Yeah.
we had a little bowl that was like one of those air compressor like things you put on like the tire. Like he somehow
Holy
converted
shit.
that into a
Damn, bro.
dirty ass bowl with the Mexi reg, brick.
Let's go.
Terrible, like got like a headache probably, but we're like, no, I'm so high. This is great. This
Yeah.
is wonderful.
Yeah.
And just trying to be cool and shit.
Oh, yeah.
But like it never, that type of weed never like did it for me. I was just
No.
like, oh man, like this is just, it's something to.
It's a head change, but it's,
Yeah.
We
could try it, but like it's not really my thing,
Yeah.
And then you get around that age, you try a little alcohol, you go to the little parties and stuff, and the older homies would, kind of like bad influences in our community a lot of times.
Yep,
Be like,
yep.
yeah, come on, kid, let's
here,
get
kid."
you fucked up.
Right.
And after a
That
few
part.
bad, alcohol experiences, I was like, you know what? Let me stick with this weed, and the weed around that time started getting better.
Oh, cool.
So
Nice.
like around like 14, 15, 16, then we started all of a sudden getting some like genetics started coming through.
Yeah, I'm curious what you guys had down there, man.
So it was really like Beasters, was a big thing around that
You ain't
time.
lying, bro.
And that was more like the work, they were selling it.
Yeah,
But
good work.
the guys that I was with, the older heads, they weren't really smoking that. That was just like the work.
Yeah.
But the I would say like the biggest thing was the Virginia Beach Ganny. That shit was like,
What is that, bro? Virginia Beach Gang. That sounds good. I love that name.
it's legendary over there. They also called it Norfolk Pine because Norfolk's the other city right there. And,
yeah, it is. It is.
And everyone's got some folklore about where it came from and how it
course.
got there and what the genetics are. But
course.
it was like a really heavy indica.
Okay.
Get your eyes low immediately.
Yeah.
Your back pain's gone. Like
Sick.
you start to get a little paranoid because it's real strong.
Mm-hmm.
But it smells almost like it had like a funky like Durban smell to it.
Okay, got you. Yeah,
So
in that ballpark. The
I'm
Durban
not sure what the
ballpark.
real genetics were, but
Some Northern Lights, some Durban, some fucking
something like that.
slightly Jackie, right?
A little Jackie,
Yeah.
but like with like a gas to
Before
it.
we gave a fuck about that, you know what I'm saying?
Well, we thought that
That
was
was lit.
That was fire back
Yeah,
then. If you
bro.
got some Jack,
Oh yeah.
all the like creatives and shit I was around. So around that time, I'm like starting to smoke good weed.
Nice.
My pops, he was working for one of my best friend's dads. Like they were builders, and
Okay.
my friend's dad, he had it going on. So he was like, "Look, man, we're gonna go to El Salvador, and we're gonna go
Ooh.
surf this summer for
Sick.
2 weeks. You want to come? I'll pay for your shit. You just buy your ticket.
Oh damn.
You and your dad." I'm like, all right, let's do it. Pops was like, let's go. He's never been out of the country.
Okay.
It was my first time out of the country. I was like 15.
Nice, dude.
And we went to El Salvador, and like this is like pre 9/11. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying?
yep.
So we're in El Salvador as a young white boy from America.
Yeah. Right.
All of a sudden, I see a whole different world.
Oh yeah, you did.
Every day, there's like crazy shit going on. Like one day, like a public bus got blown up by the MS-13 shit.
Whoa, dude.
And so like everyone's telling us, yo, it's not safe. You can't take your kids to El Salvador in this time. And we're like, no, we got a surf guide. He's gonna guide us around. And
Yeah, we're good.
yeah, we're good.
Surf
Yeah,
guy.
we're just going
Get
surfing. Like we're not bothering nobody.
No doubt.
So we're traveling around and we're surfing like real intense waves. Like so El Salvador, shout out to El Salvador, bro.
Really?
It's amazing waves.
No shit.
Yeah.
Is that Gulf or Pacific side?
It's on the Pacific.
Pacific side.
It's the
sure.
smallest country in Central America, but it has the largest population.
Is that right?
So it's like all about the San Salvador, the city, you know?
Shit.
But outside of that city, it's real rural and
Gotcha.
beautiful. Beautiful.
Gotcha. That's cool, man.
They call the one side the Wild East. So we went over there. We surfed with like nobody around, you know,
Okay.
like on a boat. You take a boat to it. The waves are pumping. Like not, I'm from the East Coast. The waves are good in the hurricane season. We get good waves, but not like this.
Really?
This is like intense waves.
How big?
Like they call it double overhead. So like, 2 times your height, like 10, 12
shit,
feet.
Dog.
And I was at that time, that was the biggest waves I was ever, used to.
And your little 16-year-old ass was equipped for that? Mm-hmm. So I mean, you've been in the water since you was 2. So
I was surfing since probably like 8, like on my own.
That's fucking raw, bro.
And that's just what everyone did in our community.
I'm sure.
There was nothing else,
Hey, we're all products of our environment, right?
Yeah, we're just a product of
what it was.
Salt in the sea.
It's fucking cool, man.
And when it led me to El Salvador.
What's up, guys? Just want to take a quick second to shout out my sponsors over at Grove Bags. Listen, Grove Bags are hands down the best way to store your cannabis. Forget jars, forget Mylars. Nobody does it like Grove Bags. Listen, it's a 6-layer, non-static bag. State-of-the-art technology. It's gonna keep your weed fresher for longer. It keeps your cannabis between 58 and 62% humidity at all times, the optimal humidity to store cannabis. It's gonna increase your shelf life, help prevent mold, weight reduction. Hands down, it's the best product out there. We don't use anything but Grove Bags at Good Pizza. And especially if your product is in stores, we all know there's some shelf life issues at the stores. This is gonna keep your product lasting longer on those shelves. So when your customer goes to try it, it's gonna be fresh cannabis. Listen, if you wanna store your cannabis the proper way, use Grove Bags. Use promo code PIZZA with 3 Z's. That's PIZZZA. Tell them Good Pizza sent you.
I don't know. I just started asking the right questions when I got back. I was like, wait a minute. How come these people are so happy, bro? Like, how come my friends are like depressed? They got everything in the U.S., but they're not happy. They're like yelling at their mom about some nonsense.
Yep.
These kids got nothing. They're happy, bro. They're just eating seafood with their family, going in the ocean, going to school.
Yep.
Man, maybe we could learn something from them. And also I'm just blessed to grow up out here and not have to go through the hardships that these other people I see have to go through. So that changed my life. Just seeing that, just starting all of a sudden having the right questions come up. Like, what is going on with the government, What is going on with the system that we set up over here? Because these people, they kept telling me, oh, man, we're not getting the help we need. We have natural disasters. These people ain't hooking us up. And we had a dope guy, man. Shout out to Lorenzo. That was our guide.
Lorenzo, I like it.
Legend in El Salvador. He took us around and he showed us, like, besides the surf, like real cultural shit.
Cool, man.
Went to some like ancient ruins, some pyramids.
Love that.
And then he took us to the city and was like, I want you guys to see this. And it was a mudslide had taken out like a whole part of the city.
Oh shit.
And he's like, yeah, the US supposed to help us. Like Japan, these countries are supposed to help us, but they ain't helped shit. It's been like 5 years like this. And so you start to see this shit as a young kid and your inquisitive mind like myself, I'm like, what's really going on? What's really good in the world? Like,
bro.
These people are amazing. Why are they getting treated that way? And my friends are kind of assholes and they get the best life ever, Yo,
that's ill. You learn that at 16, bro. Mm-hmm. And that's why you should take your kids make your kids travel, man. It'll teach them more than school.
It taught me a lot. And then the very next year we went back because we loved it so much. Nice. We wanted to go back.
Nice.
And around this time too is like we're starting to smoke a little weed and shit. So
nice.
One of the surf guys, he's like, yo, how old are you boys? We're like 15, my friend's 16. He's like, all right, cool. He's like, let me show you something. He takes us in his house. He gives us like some El Salvador grown bud, bro.
Let's
like
go.
Some land race type shit probably,
Shit. Yeah,
now that I look back, it was real sativa, like some haze type weed,
Sick.
And we were surfing, just smoking weed went hand in hand. And you just get like a little creative energy burst.
Yes,
like,
bro.
Let's go surf. I'm ready now. Like, the waves look better now.
Yeah.
So all the surf community, everywhere I've ever been, like this is starting at 15.
That's
surfers
cool.
just always had the weed.
Yeah.
No matter where, what country, how illegal it was, how hard it was to grow in that country, they had it somehow, And so we were just traveling around, surfing, smoking weed, drinking beers in the car. Like, shout out to Pops. Bro. Like, Pops was cool.
Pops is cool, man.
Yeah, he was letting us have high school parties and shit. And so we're like, feeling like grown men over there.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, all right, boys, this is your last night. And the whole time they kept telling us, yo, you got to go to Lips. How old are you, 16? You got to check out Lips, bro.
Lips?
I'm like, Lips? What's that? And they're like, bro, it's the craziest place you're ever going to see. I'm like, all right. So one thing leads to another. The last night, Pops and my friend's Pops were like, all right, boys, we're going to Lips. Don't tell your mother. It's the craziest strip club I've ever seen in my life,
No
bro.
shit.
In San Salvador.
Let's go.
Shout out to Lips.
Shout out
bro.
to Lips.
I mean, I've been to some places, South Florida, all that, but this is still takes the
got some
cake.
good
Bro.
ones.
This place Lips takes
I
the
believe
cake,
it.
bro.
I believe it.
And
I believe it.
so we get in there, and that, you know, grown ass man type shit. You know what I mean? As a 16-year-old kid, you start looking around like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a little more confidence.
Yeah, you got some hair in your chest.
Yeah,
that
you get a
night,
little more
didn't
hair
boy?
in your chest. You
Goddamn
know,
right.
And the whole time they're like, Pops and my friends Pops are like, nah, like we can't take you there. And the last night they took us out there, gave us some money to have a good time, and they were like, the second we come in, they're like, yo, they start yelling like our parents' names. They're like, how the fuck they know your name, Pop? Like, oh shit, y'all been coming here this whole time.
Oh shit.
So that's
don't tell mom. Yeah, you don't tell mom. Nobody tell mom.
Yeah, my pops was divorced. You know what I mean?
Got you.
But
Okay,
at the same time, like they just didn't want us to tell what was going on. You know.
No doubt.
But some real you know, eye-opening experiences around 15, 16
I bet.
that shaped my life.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
And so
wrong with that,
a couple years later, I remember seeing like in the paper this the Secret Service had gotten busted spending money at Lips
Oh no.
during the Bush era.
No shit.
I swear to God.
No shit.
Yep. So everybody that
Lips,
goes,
dog.
everybody from El Salvador, you know what I'm talking
You know
about.
Lips.
Yeah, they know what I'm talking about. And the
fuck with that.
pulsarias and all that is just like a beautiful experience.
Those
Just
are
seeing
so
different cultures, you know.
I got a good spot in Sac if you need one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe after
Real
this.
talk. Yeah.
But yeah, so that kind of like got my travel bug going. I just
Yeah, I
really
bet.
like,
I
man,
bet.
I got to see more. What else is out there? What other shit they lying to us about, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I got to go to Puerto Rico, like
Oh, I love
like
Puerto
kind of about
Rico, bro.
17, and surf down there, and the waves are really good in the winter. So
Really?
a lot of East Coast.
How big?
Usually, like in the summer, it's kind of flat, but in the winter with the cold fronts they
Mm-hmm.
get on the East Coast, it can get like there's Tres Palmas. It can hold like 40 feet, 50-foot wave.
Oh my god.
Doesn't happen
bro.
very much, but it can happen there.
Can you ride a 40-foot wave?
Oh, I don't fuck with that. Like,
What's the biggest wave you ride?
the biggest wave I ever caught was probably like, they would call it like a 20-foot face, so like 3 times taller, triple
Wow.
overhead. And but in Puerto Rico and shit, it was just like warm water, lots of like cheap street food you could eat. You could
yeah.
live as a young man pretty cheap.
Yeah, man.
We had some friends down there, a lot of East Coast connections from New York, Jersey, all that.
Of course.
And then so I got used to like that kind of Caribbean shit. And then I went back and I was always good at school. I finished high school a year early.
Oh no shit.
So I was like, you know what?
Nice, bro.
I just didn't feel like it was gonna be my thing. Like I was like, I'm not gonna be a doctor, a lawyer. I don't know what I'm gonna do in college. I don't want to waste. My family didn't have the money. Like, what am I gonna do? So I just started working.
Okay.
I was weaving hammocks. I would make hammocks.
Interesting.
Literally. Great job if you're high.
Great job, you're high. Yeah, good busy work. Mm-hmm. When you stoned.
And like at 17, I worked my ranks up from weaving the hammocks to like making the hammock stands out of wood and like binding them together and gluing them in this press and everything.
Nice.
So I was getting like 25 an hour at like 18. They're like, Josh, I think you got a career here. I think you got a real good career. I'm like, man, this is the last thing I'm gonna do with my life, bro.
Right.
Like,
Come on now.
when you're a kid, they're trying to keep you as a
Slay the
worker
dream,
bee,
baby.
and I'm like, nah, this is not my path. And so at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? I got to do something to make, a living. Mom's was a massage therapist.
Yeah.
Pops, he was building houses. So I got to see both sides. I worked for my dad many years building. I was like, man, there's a lot of work, bro. I don't know if you're getting paid
Me too, bro.
really for, what you're putting out there. Mom, she's chilling inside in the AC, just, making people relax. They come out, give her a hug. Be like, that was great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Give her a nice tip. I'm like, Mom's like, why don't you try massage school? I'm like, all right, shit, that sounds like a plan.
Hell yeah.
I'm a definitely be surrounded by more women than men. at a young age, that was important.
That's a fact.
And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I got a skill where I can make $100 an hour type job.
Beautiful.
And I already had people coming, calling Mom's service, that she couldn't get to.
Okay.
And so I was like, all right, cool. I gotta
Catching the overflow.
catch a little overload, start my own. And what I would do is I'd take the massage stuff to people's houses.
Yeah.
So like there's a section that's kind of like the Hamptons. It's like real big houses, like 20 bedroom houses. People would come like 10 families deep, rent out the house. and all of a sudden they would, have it would be more affordable when they'd all come together like that.
Sure.
Compared to the Hamptons. So on the Outer Banks, we got tons of the money's flowing. I just had to figure out how to get it. My system was I would drive on the beach. There's a section, there's no road. So the only way to get there is 4-wheel drive.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, no one wants to come out here? I'm a beach boy. Let me get my 4-wheel drive on.
There it
I'll
is.
go to these rich people's houses. And that's where I got to learn about the world a lot, is just talking to these people, hearing their experiences and what they did to get to where they're at.
No shit, man.
And then all the illnesses and shit they would be going through, and no matter how much money they had, cancer's a motherfucker, you know what I mean? And people started telling me their illnesses all the time. They'd have problems, just
Sure.
American way, like just living in the system.
Yeah,
and
man.
they started telling me about cancer and stuff, and to the point where I'm like, shit, have you heard about cannabis? Like, cannabis might be able to help you, And this is early days.
This is one of the super taboo.
This is real taboo topics in North Carolina.
Especially in North Cat.
You
Yeah,
know what
bro.
I mean?
Yeah.
And these guys are from like Jersey and New York, so they're a little more open to it probably.
Yeah, no doubt.
But they were some people were real receptive. And so like I kind of like got into the massage thing. It really led me to understand there's all these natural healing remedies out here, My family already kind of taught me that growing up in the health food store.
Sure.
But then I as I got a little older, I'm like surfing, and you get hurt sometimes. You're like, instead of taking pain pills or doing some terrible opiates or something, shit, just give me some Tiger Balm. I'm gonna rub this on the bump, and that shit goes away in like 2 days. I'm back to normal, But I was more on that's kind of tip, and that's how the weed was as well. Weed is the most healing herb.
Absolutely.
That's always what I heard from Al growing up.
Shout out to Al.
So I'm like, all right, cool. we got to put it to the test then. If we're really, people are really going through something, sometimes they'll let down their barriers and let down their notions on what's bad and what's good, and say, shit, if it works, let me try it.
Yeah.
So like, a couple years later, I'm just doing the massage, traveling around and all that. But I really got into the Rick Simpson's oil.
Oh, yeah.
The cannabis oil that you could eat.
Yep.
And it doesn't, it's not like, this isn't like fun. Like, you get pretty fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is something that's more like meant to make you relax and rest and heal. And so I got to learn about that at a young age. And as I was in traveling back and forth to the Caribbean, learning how to grow weed, learning how to do these natural healing remedies, like different massage type of work, yoga,
Nice.
breath work. Surfers are real in tune with like their breath.
Sure.
Because you got to hold your breath or you're going to die out there.
Yeah.
Especially when it's 20 foot or whatever, 40 foot. You really got to know your breath work.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And so luckily all these people started coming into my life. Like, I was dating a girl that I was working with around like, I was probably my like 20, 21. And she introduced me to this guy who was like this healer, that's basically like the only way I could describe him. He's a healer.
Yeah.
But he's a surfer.
Cool.
He was shipping packs. He was growing weed. He had an indoor setup. He was growing shit outside. He's making hash.
The guy.
He was doing all this stuff with natural herbs as well. Like, and the crazy thing is how he would smoke. He would always roll up a dried organic corn husk and tie it with a hemp rope. That's how he would roll everything. And the shit tastes so good, like, because the corn is kind of sweet. And as you burn it, it would burn super slow, and the hemp rope would just keep it tied and everything.
Oh yeah, because you can't really lick that.
You can't really stick it.
Shit.
You could probably get the little glue now and do something like that.
No
Little
doubt.
tamale joint,
Yeah.
And so this dude, man, we'll just say T. Shout out to T, bro. He was a real one. He was probably like 20 years older than me.
Okay.
But he treated me with such respect, and he was just like, look, man, as a young man, I wish people would have taught me this shit. Let me talk to you for real. But we didn't have the internet. We didn't have cell phone service really in that area. And this is in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Okay.
So I was in Puerto Rico for a winter, learned to grow with my homie. And then I met this girl. We ended up in the St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands.
How's St. Thomas? I hear good things.
Bro, it's crazy. At the time, it was real crazy. There's some real gangster shit going on.
Shit, yeah.
But it's beautiful. It's so fucking beautiful, So on the north side, it's a little like more like tourist friendly and stuff. And the waves, that's where the surf is at. So not many people knew the Virgin Islands. Everybody goes to Puerto Rico. Like
Okay.
all the surfers from New York and shit, they all
Sure.
Florida, they all go there. Not everybody was up on the Virgin Islands yet.
Tight.
There wasn't any like websites or wave cameras that you could check the waves there at all. Still
Yeah.
to this day, there's none. The kids
Shit.
police it really heavy.
Really?
So yeah, as
How
I
come?
because they don't want
they don't want that.
they don't want too much tourism coming in. It's
Got
like
you.
cruise ships coming in every day, right? Like 5 cruise ships might be docking,
Oh no shit.
and then all of a sudden, if those guys have time, if they know what's good, they could just go over there and surf, like any day of the week.
Yeah.
But they don't know how to get there. They don't know where to go. Like it's real hush hush. So luckily, the girl that I was with, she was a surfer too, and so she had been surfing in the Virgin Islands already and spent a couple winters down there.
Okay.
So she kind of got me in with the right click. I met
Oh, there
T.
you go.
T kind of like everyone respected T because he had the best weed. So as soon as like they saw I was cool with T, then they were like, "All right, give the kid a chance." But at first they'd be throwing rocks at me, telling me to like beat it, white boy. And they're like white. They're white French descendants that speak with like
Holy shit,
the accent,
patois and shit like
the
that?
patois,
Yeah.
and they'd be yelling at me, white boy. I'm like, what the fuck, y'all white too? Like,
Right. No
but
doubt.
but it was just different, you know. And they just be like yelling like just to make a scene to try to scare you. You
Sure.
know?
They testing you, bro.
You just test, you know, anywhere you go, any
Anywhere.
tourist type shit, you just show up. They don't know who you are, and they're like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And if you just stay persistent and be nice, and you don't get in their way, and you know what you're doing. You're not just you know a kook, they call it.
Yeah.
You can't be a kook out here. And basically, the kids in the Virgin Islands were so hardcore that a few times the pros from the East Coast would show up and try to surf out there. They have the cameramen and stuff. The kids, I've seen them paddle out with a big boulder, just chuck the boulder, bam, right on the camera housing,
Oh, shit.
break the guy's camera, and the dude just like swam away, and the other surfers are like yelling at each other, like, "Yeah, leave him alone." And then next thing I know, the Coast Guard pulls up, gets on the surfer's boat. It's like, "Yo, we got a report. You guys have drugs on the boat." Like the kids would call in shit. Be like, "Get them the fuck out of here. They can't be here." Like,
Damn,
fuck
bro.
those guys.
Straight harassing these fools.
They did not. Those kids
Holding
were
shit
wild,
down.
bro.
They're
Really
holding
wild.
their beach down.
And I got respect for them. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes
Hey.
it's like that in this
Yeah.
crowded world.
Yeah, man.
And these are real sacred spaces. There's,
Yeah, bro.
you
Come
know?
on, man. That is sacred, bro. Every beach is sacred to somebody. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And these kids, you know, we still stay in touch too.
That's dope.
They
That's dope.
they were real hardcore and trying to surf and see the other islands. So I got to go on the boat with them and check other places out. I'd go with T on his little boat where we tow each other into waves when they get really big.
Dog,
You
you've
like,
done that?
Yeah.
Fuck.
With like before it was like a big thing too.
Yeah.
This is like a little Zodiac blow up raft boat with
Yeah.
a motor on it.
Oh, this is
now
not
they
jet
use
ski.
like jet skis. You know?
Oh, no shit.
This is like a Zodiac. This like
Yeah.
one person boat basically.
Sure.
And so like we definitely had some learning curves messing around with that. And I think T got mad at me a few times for fucking up.
Fucking up. You were pulling him in?
I was like, I had the boat. I was driving the boat, and then a giant wave came. I had to go over it, and like launched almost. The motor wouldn't start for a minute. Little stuff like that.
Yeah.
As a young man, you
That
figure
shit
it
is
out.
scary, bro.
But he was so confident, and I was so trained in the water at the time that I could do it. I was all good.
Nice, bro.
So I was like, we were paddle boarding, we were like getting in tune with all that. And at the same time, like T started to trust me and he'd go, "Hey, look, man, I gotta leave for like 2 weeks. I need you to take care of these plants." I'm like, all right. And I knew he had some outdoor plants, but then he's like, "Let me show you this little shed around back." And he had like a 4-lighter in the Virgin Islands at that time. That was unheard of. Like,
Right.
the power is crazy expensive. Like,
No shit.
people weren't really growing like that. They have
Yeah.
a few plants outside.
Sure.
But T had like genetics that he got seeds from Amsterdam.
Tight.
So like maybe once or twice, once every 2 years, a year or two, he would go re-up on his seed collection.
Nice.
And I'm telling you, still to this day, some fire. Like he would call one the Lilikoi, and he's Hawaiian. He was from the Big Island originally.
Okay.
And he'd be like, "Yo, you gotta try the Lilikoi, brah." He's like, "This shit is ridiculous." And I'm telling you, when he cracked the jar, your whole house smelled like passion fruit, like for
no shit.
hours. You know?
Damn, bro.
And it was green weed, but
Yeah.
it was hella passion fruit candy. Like now that I think back, I'm like, whoa, what was
The
that
first
genetic?
candy.
He would never tell me
that
the
you knew
actual
of.
strain,
Yeah.
He'd have these names for it.
Sure.
But I would be like, man, I'll be like, can we get that Lilikoi back? I'm always asking, can we get that Lilikoi back? He's like, I don't know, bro. It's gone.
He don't back nothing up, right? It was just
No.
one and gun.
One and done.
Yeah, one and done, yeah.
So if it was really good, he would keep it around.
Okay.
But he would be testing a lot of shit.
Okay.
A little 4-light tester, like, popping seeds.
Yep.
And so he had the great white shark. We always loved that one.
Ooh, what was that like?
That was like some old school, like white widow mixed with something probably.
Cool.
And it was like real like earthy, but it had a little citrus and strong, like really heavy. And I don't know, just surfers thought it funny smoking the great white.
It's fire.
And then the other one that he would like come up with these crazy names. He'd be like, all right, this one right here, this one's called the tapeworm. I'm like, what's up with the tapeworm? He's like, bro, don't buy any groceries because this one's gonna make you eat everything. He's like,
That's
you just
fucking great.
He's like, just rather not buy anything because you're gonna eat it.
You gonna eat it all.
And the Virgin Islands shit ain't cheap, so he was trying to look out for me. And then he'd be like, yo, this one's the horny goat weed, bro. He's like, you and your lady, like, have a good night. And
Oh, shit.
So he would always have his own little, he'd be rebranding already.
Sure.
Back in the early 2000s.
That's cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what years was this? I just want to get my count.
Bro, this is
together.
2006.
Oh,
2005
cool.
or 6.
Cool.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think I first grew my first plant in North Carolina at like 18 and like around like early 2000s.
Okay.
And then I moved to Puerto Rico and learned to grow over there.
What year was you in Puerto Rico?
So the first year where I stayed like the whole winter was 2005 it was 2005.
Yo, dig this. We was in Puerto Rico at the same time, bro.
Isn't that crazy?
No bullshit. I was there for
You said that one time. Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, I did tell you that, right?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
in Thanksgiving 2005 PR, man, in Jayuya and Ponce, and we went to San Juan for just like a night on our way out. But yeah, bro.
So we were out there different
Fire.
paths, but at the same time in the same
yeah.
island.
Yeah,
That's
we was
crazy.
out there with the piff and the e-pills, bro.
Oh, okay,
Wildin'.
okay, got you. Yeah,
Wildin'.
that was that era.
and the pills broke on the weed.
Oh.
So it was like coated fucking piff, dude. It
Oh
was a
shit,
mess, bro.
the E-Piff.
Oh, we had that e-piff. Oh my god, bro.
See,
my god.
See, I already knew, like, growing up surfing and shit, we always had this connection between, like, New York, Jersey surfers
Yeah.
and, like, the Florida guys, like, because we're in the
Yeah.
middle. So we were like, oh, the waves are hitting better in Jersey. Oh, we got to head to Jersey. It wasn't
surf in Jersey?
It wasn't shit for us to hop in the car
Sure.
to surf for, like, 3 hours. And the waves would be no good after that.
Really?
We would drive 8 hours sometimes just
surf
to
for
surf
3. Whoa.
And just to be like, oh yeah, Montauk's gonna fire off during this hurricane.
Yeah.
We drive fucking 12 hours or 10 hours to Montauk, stay at the homie's house. Shout out to the homies in Montauk, bro. There's some real ones.
Nice.
But they have amazing waves out there when the right
Fucking Long Island?
when the
shit.
right wave, when the right hurricane, the right storm hits.
I bet that makes sense. It's all relative.
Like Rockaway all the way to Montauk, there's spots that work. Long Beach is like the main spot.
Okay.
And I grew up with these kids. This kid, Will Scooten. Scooten is a legend in the surf world. He's
Oh,
a
no
big wave
shit.
surfer. He
Really?
surfs like the 40-footers. He trains people to go underwater for that long and everything. And he's the man in New York. And
Can I just stop you for a second?
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but I have so many surfer questions.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
So how long do you have to be prepared to stay underwater?
Man, that's a hard question.
Like,
'cause-
all right, for a 40-footer, like what?
well, most people,
Good,
let's just
good,
put it
good
this
taste, bad case.
Let's just say this. Most normal human beings would never, like myself, I will never go out there in a 40-foot day. That's like for
Right.
the wild man.
For the wild man.
That's for the crazy.
Could that snap your back? Like it could just fold you and just
Yes.
see you later?
Yeah, no.
Okay,
It happens.
looks like it.
It happens. Like if you get in the wrong position. But just for the average, like head high, 6 foot tall wave,
Yeah.
I would say it seems like it's a lifetime, but it might be like 15 seconds, 30 seconds.
It's still a long time.
But if you're
30
like
is long.
panicking,
Yeah.
you can't breathe for 30 seconds, try that shit one
Yeah.
day, And so
There's nervous energy involved too. This isn't a calm, I'm
and
just
it
holding
doesn't
my
stop.
shit.
And then another one, and then another one. So you might come up for 30 seconds and then another one.
Oh, chill, bro.
So it's like it's a mind game, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to control your mind not to get into the fear.
That too.
Right. So all of a sudden, I would say like the lessons that I learned through surfing have really helped me with the weed shit. because you got to control your mind not to think about all the crazy shit that could go wrong.
Yeah,
and
dog.
you just focus on the fun.
Yeah.
You know, and be in the moment of the goodness.
Yeah, man.
Because if you're not, you're thinking about sharks and you're thinking about waves breaking.
That's where I was going next.
You're thinking about all this bad shit. You're never gonna have fun.
No.
You're just gonna be like a worry ward out there, just freaking out.
So you just have to let a shark bite happen, like straight up.
Yo, the shark bait is out here, but I'm not saying that. I don't know anyone that has been bit by a shark.
Okay, so that's my next question. No shark incidents? Have you ever seen a big boy?
I've seen him.
Ooh,
I've seen him
what
in
do you
there
do,
with me,
bro.
And it's scary as fuck.
What, do you just tuck
I
your
just get
fucking
the
feet
fuck
on the
out.
boat, or you
I'm
just get the fuck
I
out?
gotta go. It's time to go. You know.
How big, bro?
In Australia, I saw one that was like,
shit.
it was like 10
Australia,
foot,
son.
a tiger
Chill.
shark. It was like 10
Oh,
foot.
they're nasty too, bro.
And you could, the waves were so clear that it was before I even got in the water, right?
Man.
I'm going to hop in the water, and the wave comes up, and I could see this giant ass striped, big ass 10-foot shark. And then my friend was already out in the water too, and he sees it, and he looks at me, and we're like, Did we just see what I thought we saw? Your mind's like tricking you a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that a dolphin? Nah, that was a fucking tiger striped big ass shark. And we just got out, and I never got in. I was
Never got in.
And the Aussies never stopped. Like, they didn't give a fuck. They didn't care. They could care less.
No fucking
They just, I mean, we were telling them, like, yo, there's a tiger shark. They're like, yeah, mate, that's old Susie. She's out here every day, mate.
They got a fucking name for her. Old fucking
like,
Susie.
No fear at all. Like,
Oh,
yeah, they're,
man.
you know, and the theory is with like surfers and shit is you're like a part of their environment.
That's right.
But
That's right.
if you're really living that life, like all the time, this is your thing, like a pro surfer, you're in their environment so much, they just accept you. They just are like, yeah, that guy is not bothering us. He's not
that's
stealing
Billy.
our fish.
That's Susie. That's Billy.
Kelly
We're good.
Slater over
You
there.
know what I'm saying? You feel me?
I kind of admire watching him, you know?
Wow, dude, that's crazy. Okay.
And surfers do have some weird shit because it can happen. There's not any ropes that block it. There's nothing to stop.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's happened, but I would say it's like lightning strike, you know, something like that. You're more likely to get hurt in a car wreck than a shark attack. Yeah.
No shit.
Statistically.
You ever heard of a shark ban?
Yes.
Okay, so
I don't know if I
goofy
would trust it.
Bro, so listen, I went to the Outer Banks, bro.
Okay.
First time, summer 2000, call it 15, 16, right? We're like 20 deep with the fam. And I see this commercial for shark bans. I order one because I'm a fucking shark weirdo.
Bro.
I'm walking around like I'm on house arrest. That's what it looks like. You got an ankle on, right?
Yeah, you got an ankle on.
Even my aunt was like, John Paul, what happened? Are you like everything good? I'm like, yeah, man, I got some shit. You feel me? Like, but my PO, God bless him, man. He showed me some love, let me spend some time with y'all. He let me come out. She's like, oh, really? That's so sweet. I was like, nah, Auntie, I'm fucking with you, man. It's a shark ban, girl. I ain't gonna get bit by a shit out here.
But they used to seeing that more than a shark ban. Then we're used to seeing an ankle monitor more in Jersey.
Right.
I've seen those before.
Yeah, you feel me?
I ain't never seen the shark ban.
Man, I was like home base for all my cousins. I told my cousin, like, yo, man, I got the shark ban. So if y'all feeling weird, just come by me, dog. Ain't no sharks fucking with me.
Yeah.
I think it was the placebo.
It's supposed to like, yeah, that's what it is, really.
Dude, come on, bro.
But it's supposed to release, like the science is supposed to release a frequency.
That they don't like.
I feel like they might like it, though.
I think it's all bullshit, bro. I just did it because I seen the commercial and I was like, yeah, if this is going to help me get over my fear, because I know y'all got big fucking sharks down there, bro.
There's sharks there,
and they're
too.
headed up to my way. They're headed up to Jersey and Cape Cod, eat them fucking seals.
No, that's where the great whites are.
Yeah,
northeast.
Yes, bro.
Especially Cape Cod.
Yeah, and they pass right through, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, all summer, they're just flying up the
There's some
coast,
trackers.
bro.
They have trackers on them. And they'll see where they go, and they go into the inlet, in the sound, in the bay.
Yeah, dog.
So not even in the ocean. They come in the fresher water.
Yes, they do.
And then they go back out. And
you ever heard of Mary?
Babies. Mary?
Mary's
She's the big one, right?
The big one,
And
yeah.
they track her around the
Yeah,
East Coast.
dog.
Yeah, she's been on the Outer Banks.
I know she has, bro. I know she has.
She's loving it. But that's how the Aussies would treat this shit. They would be like, oh, that's just Mary out there.
Yeah,
Man. Don't
chill
worry.
out, pussy.
She ain't ever bit nobody.
Yeah, right.
And I'd be like, nah, fuck that. I'm not going in this spot. But you go to the 3 beaches away and be like, oh, I'm fine over here. Like, they're just right there, bro.
Right there, dog.
You know, they can swim fast.
Yeah.
So that part of the surfing is wild, but it really trained my mind for like this weed shit.
Yeah, I bet.
You know, to be like, oh, don't think about all the fucking bad shit that could go wrong with this weed, bro.
I bet that translates into your life.
And the
your
hustle
day-to-day life.
of like, hey, I gotta drive 8 hours to go surf for 3 hours. Shit, I gotta drive to fucking Reading right now and get these packs.
That's right.
It's the same
good
fucking
mindset.
same shit. You know,
Yeah,
it's an
it is.
adventure. Like you
It
gotta
is.
make it fun. Like
Yeah.
and
That's cool, man.
I was always surrounded by like, you know, people mostly getting high and smoking weed
Sure.
that made it fun, and you didn't think about the bad shit. And
That's
usually it worked out good.
Yeah, it usually does work out, man.
You know, more often than not.
Yeah. So where I knocked you off your story was you were with your mentor T, and he's showing people breath work on how to take these big waves on.
Oh, so I was saying Will Scooten, this motherfucker in New York, was doing like the crazy breath work and stuff early days of teaching people. And I grew up with his mom was actually worked at the same place I was doing massage at one point.
Okay.
And so that family is just legends in New York. I'll just leave it at that. Like
Okay.
everybody knows. And they run the Wave Park in the American Mall in New Jersey.
I've heard of this, bro.
Yeah, he's the one that's in charge.
Yo, that's ill.
Yes.
That started after I left. I've been
Yeah.
hearing about this shit.
So it's like warm water all year,
Yeah.
right outside of New York City. You know, it's
incredible.
He got like Action Bronson out there and everything.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So like I grew up with that type of people. Like
That's
I'm
fucking
telling you,
cool,
like these
bro.
guys are legends. Like they're like a lot of entrepreneurs and stuff that we came from the Outer Banks because there's no industry there. You had
Sure.
to create something. So just like all that kind of led me into traveling to the Caribbean because it was the winter escape. In California, you might go to Hawaii in the winter. In the East Coast, it was the Caribbean. You know, it's a little closer.
Okay.
And for surfers especially. So I'm down there. I meet T. T's really like showing me all about life. Like as a grown ass man, he's like, look, man, this is how you ship the bag. This is how you do this. I already kind of been tuned in from my friend's other brother, but
Sure.
Basically T was like on a more like holistic path and on a more like healing, healthier way of wealth. You know,
Sure.
he was buying properties. He was showing me this is how you buy a property. Like you could do a deal with the owner financing deal with the landlord, with the person that owns the property. You don't have to have a bank. He's like, yo, I'm doing 5 payments over 5 years. I got this 50-acre property in the Big Island. I'm like, damn, you could do that? That's crazy. How much does that cost? You know, start asking the right questions
Sure.
about financial literacy, which was something I needed to learn. I was really hungry to learn that at a young age to be self-sufficient because I didn't want to have to depend on nobody, you know?
Of course.
And so like basically like T was just giving me inspiration. Like he was just so positive and he would always just tell me like, yeah, you could do that. Like, sure, you want to go over there and do this? You could do that. Yeah, why not? Let's figure out a way to do it, you know? And I needed that at that age to just open my mind, expand my mind. And we didn't have the internet and any of this stuff, but at night he would have like DVDs and we'd be watching these like conspiracy documentary DVDs.
Shit.
We'd be
Going down
watching
the rabbit holes.
the crop circles in the UK. We'd be watching surf videos, just, you know, interesting shit, like more educational stuff than most of my friends at that age were probably looking at, you know. But because I didn't go to college or nothing, this was my college, this was my school, like just traveling and seeing the world.
Hell yeah.
And so like doing the massage stuff too, the girl at the time, she was like, yo, you should get T to do his Rolfing work. And Rolfing's a crazy type of healing that's like it's kind of like massage, chiropractic, sort of like shiatsu techniques, like some Japanese shit.
Yeah.
So what it does is it restructures your connective tissue in your body, which is below your
Fascia tissue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's below your it's above your bone and below your muscle.
Yep.
And so if you can like restructure that, your posture, everything will kind of like fall back into that pattern.
Wow.
But we just get in these patterns and we just continue doing what we're doing and we get stuck in that pattern.
Yeah.
So T was the master of what being like, yo, we're all get stuck in the matrix, he would call it. We get stuck in the system. Just break the pattern. Do something to break that pattern. For me, the weed was a great way to just like let all that bullshit go away.
Yeah.
You know? And just let like your mind unwind about your day, your work day, and just boom, just kind of relax. So T kind of like, he was already on that, but he kind of showed me a lot of shit about just like your health and, you know, being a good person and stretching and breathing. Shit you think you know, but no one ever taught you how to breathe.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
I thought that was the goofiest shit in the world until I found Wim Hof. And I was like, oh, I was the one that was goofy. You know what I'm saying? I was ignorant.
the ice baths and all that is popular in the surf world, especially. They all be doing that, you know. And it's like hot and cold therapy, these ancient therapies. Like we don't need all the modern pills and stuff. Because growing up in the South, I've seen a lot of kids get hooked on the opiates and the Xannies.
North, bro.
And that shit is terrible, man. And young kids are dead from it, you know.
Yeah.
But the weed and shit, it never killed nobody. So I seen like a lot of people be successful, and all they did was just weed, you know.
Yeah.
They're not doing other drugs, just maybe not even alcohol most of the time, just the weed.
Yep.
But they be super successful. So I'm seeing like all this shit at a young age. I'm seeing all these different characters from all walks of life, and I'm just coming up with my plan, like in my head, like, all right, so I'm surfing, traveling, doing this massage thing, but what's the end goal? What's my game plan for like what I'm gonna do with my life? And no matter what I tried to like do, like other little businesses and shit. Me and my friends started like a little boutique with like clothes and skateboards and music.
Nice.
And then we've tried to like, doing the real estate shit at an early age with my dad, building the houses, all that, like, just owning like a business.
Sure.
But it just wasn't fulfilling my passion. And at the end of the day, I was just always like, what is that? And it's just weed. Like, I just love this shit so much that I just kept coming back no matter what. I just had to like get back to it.
Yep.
Be having dreams like, oh shit, I gotta be growing. I gotta get to California. It was like the whole plan is like, I gotta get to California, get enough money up. I'm gonna get to California. I'm gonna get me a farm. I'm gonna get a little spot where I could grow, and we'll go from there. And like the surfing and shit was just all like, kind of like in the back of my mind. I'm like, I gotta do these travels young. I think other older heads were telling me this too. Like, travel and see the world while you're young, because when you're old, like, you gotta work. And when you're young, you need to be working too, but you got more time to go fuck off, Yeah. And so I kind of like got that thing where it's like, all right, I'm gonna get this out of my system. I'm gonna go travel the world. I'm gonna see everything I can. I'm gonna meet the flyest people that I could meet and the most baddest women, and I'm gonna grow the best weed. And just, that was like the whole plan. Really, that's all I could think about. And then at the end of the day, I ended up in with T, like, gave me a little more like of a spiritual perspective of what you're doing, like on the healing side. He's like, nah, bro, you're a healer too. Like, you were raised in this shit. You gotta, like, that's your fucking gift. Like, you gotta figure out a way to help more people than just one-on-one with the massage shit. You could help a lot of people with this weed. And so I was like, all right. So he kind of showed me like a lot of the early days of the tech that he was doing indoor.
Okay.
He was showing me, just what the light cycles of, we were just taking it for granted. You put it outside, it's flowering. He's like, nah, you could flip it. You could do a dep. Like, oh, okay. So he'd do like a little greenhouse dep on his like backyard porch. And
oh shit.
He'd have the indoor in like a Home Depot shed. Like an indoor like 4-lighter, know, and like a little window unit AC.
Okay.
And then he'd have the little dep outside. And so he would be like getting multiple harvests, show me different things. I'd be like, oh shit, there's so many ways you could do it. And all very discreet, never had no problems. The VI was pretty chill. And so like that time, I was probably like 2005 to 2007.
Okay.
I was like, man, I'm really like formulating the plan of how I'm gonna get in the weed game,
Okay.
Because I was always have a little ounce or two, a couple, little selling a little something on the side to just get free smoke, free smoke and all that.
Yep.
And we got some beaster pounds fronted to us and stuff like that. So we were like, oh yeah. And then you get the money started coming up a little more from doing the massage and the little hustles. And I got to a place where I was like, all right, cool. Now I think I'm ready to, I'm gonna get out to California. I got enough money. This is like after I traveled a couple more years, like went to Australia, went to New Zealand, Australia, and Bali when the recession hit in 2008.
Nice. In 08, yeah.
I was out. I was like, I'm going to travel while everybody's bitching about working. I'm not even going to go work. I'm going to go travel and work on these. There's a shit called Willing Workers on Organic Farms, the Wolf program.
Okay.
Anybody could do this. Like, this is a big thing. You can go travel around. You can stay with these people that have like some work for you to do, and you do like 3 hours of work, and they give you food and housing, right? So it's like some real hippie, like commune type shit usually, especially in New Zealand. But I just read this little book, and the book would tell you about each place. and there'd be a lot of surfers on there. So I'd be traveling around for the cheap and being like, oh shit, let me go to Raglan, New Zealand. I'm gonna stay there for 2 weeks during the recession when everyone's like, dude, I just need some money. Like, tourists, please come.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we were just like in that sweet spot, you know. Me and this chick that I was traveling with, she was a surfer as well. And
tell me a little bit about New Zealand.
Dude,
I don't know too much.
So my take on it is this: like, Australia's like America, New Zealand's more like Canada. Like, it's a little more, it's smaller, it's a little more isolated.
Okay.
It's a little more like naive in some ways, whereas Americans are like hella jaded, you know. Aussies are like jaded. They're like, ah, shit, mate, it's terrible out here. And then they got like the New York kind of approach, you know. Just like they see like more like the mess, and like the South, they're just like a little more slow, and it's kind of like New Zealand's like just a little more like a slower pace of life, you know.
Okay.
I would say
that
a lot more like Polynesian influence in New Zealand than Australia. Which I really love, like a lot of Samoan, a lot of Fijian, a lot of like South Pacific Islanders.
Right? Okay.
And the Maori people are the indigenous people of New Zealand.
Okay.
And so they have like face tats, you know, the full like.
Say word.
The women will have like a face tat, like a fangs, like that's like they're taken, you know, and that's how it is if you're like a married woman, and there'll be you know, modern shit like they don't do that, but the traditions are like that.
And these are the what'd you call the
Maori?
The Maori.
Yo, shout out to New Zealand, bro. They got weed out in New Zealand.
Really?
The bikers kind of control the scene, but there's like small batch growers everywhere, you know, for years, dude. This is a long time ago.
Fire.
But just now they have it medical.
Okay.
And so New Zealand and Australia both are coming up with their medical programs and everything.
Nice, dude.
And I'm really stoked to talk to some of these guys out there about, you know, bringing surfs up out there, because that's a surf culture.
Yeah.
You know, New Zealand has amazing waves. It's not as populated as Australia, so it's less crowded. And it's like Lord of the Rings and shit. It's like Hobbit land out there. It's just
really?
Rolling hills, sheep. Like, you'll be at a roadblock. You'll be like, oh, well, the traffic's bad. But it's just sheep crossing.
Oh, no shit.
A million fucking sheep got to cross,
damn.
and the farmers block the road.
No shit.
So it might take you like 5 miles to get somewhere, but it could be like an hour, because this time of day where
sheep crossing.
Got to get the sheep on the other side of the paddock.
Son. That's wild, bro.
So yeah, New Zealand's wild. I was traveling around.
I didn't never known that, man.
What I would say, if anybody's young and stuff and wants to travel like this, if you're under 30, you can get a visa and work for a year in New Zealand and in Australia both, and go see that part of the world. And it's easy as an American. You speak English. Everyone has a little funny accent, but it's the same kind of system, you know. But yeah, that's a really one of the dopest places I ever been or surfed was New Zealand.
That's fire. And
then Bali. So I went to New Zealand, then I went to Australia, and I worked in Australia with my friend from America. There was a what do you call it? It's like guys that chop trees down. Arborist, yeah, like a lumberjack.
Arborist, okay.
Yeah, arborist is what he would call himself. But a lumberjack is pretty much it, right? So he's a professional climber guy.
Oh shit!
And he was from Connecticut actually, but he's a professional climber, and he would climb up these trees, chop them down when they were like dangerous, right? So he would pay us really good money to just hold these ropes on the logs he would tie to bring them down.
Okay.
But it might be over top of someone's nice house, and if you fuck up, like
you're not getting paid.
Yeah, no, you ruining someone's house, and you might kill someone, you know. And he's like, nah, I'll give you like $500 a day. Like, just come help me. He's like, you're strong, come help me. I'm like, all right. So he shows me what's going on. It's like the scariest shit ever.
No shit. Yeah, that must be a fucking nerve-wracking job, bro.
He was just like so confident and so good at what he did that it made my job easy. But he would tie off these big ass chunks, tie them around like 4 different trees in like a circle, so you got like some leverage, and then we'd lower it down, and then he'd like chop it up for him, and he would get paid really good money in Sydney, Australia. Okay. Or like in the outskirts of Sydney. There's more trees.
You ever go to the outback?
Like I never did, man. I feel like it's a scary place to travel across Australia.
My cousin did, bro.
You could get fucked up out there.
Fucked up.
Yeah. And I always, out of respect to the Aborigine people, I just stay away from that part. I'm just going to be by the coast, you know?
Yeah, so what's that? That's the natives to Australia, Aborigines?
Yep. So that's like they're Native Americans. Like, they're from there, like, they say, like, over 50,000 years plus, you know, probably more. And they got these little, like, sacred spots where they're like petroglyphs, the shit they write into the wall. They got a lot of history out there, you know. And the same thing that happened to the Native Americans here is got kind of what happened there. They just got pushed to the side, and a lot of wars, and you know.
Yeah.
And you don't really see too many real full Aborigine when you're in Australia. It's like a British penal colony or whatever it's called.
Oh, okay.
The penitentiary in the UK, that's where they sent their inmates.
No shit.
So that's why Australia is the way it is. It's descendants from that, yeah. So
damn, I did not know that.
You know, that's how it originated.
That's a fun fact.
It's like the Alcatraz of the UK and Europe.
Yo, it is, dog. Yeah. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, no. Shout out to Australia, man.
Yeah, shout out, man. I've always gone along with Australians when I've met them.
Funny as shit.
Cool. It's got a good sense of humor too.
Love to party, you know. Love to go out, and they're just like very outdoorsy. Like they're doing shit all the time.
That's cool.
You know. And so I loved going over there so much on that trip that I went back like a year or two later. I just kept working, saving my money up. This is when like the boxes started flowing, you know?
Oh, yeah.
People were like not aware of what was going on at that time, probably as much as now.
Yep.
And, you know, we were winning for sure.
Getting good money for depths is what he's trying to say.
Woo! They didn't even know what depths were.
Exactly. The good old days when nobody knew what a fucking depth was.
So while all that shit's happening, I'm like traveling and surfing. My other crew of friends that I was living with in Puerto Rico, they moved to San Diego.
Oh, nice.
And so like, it was probably around like 2007 or 8 or something like that. Okay. They started a dispensary in Ocean Beach, San Diego. My boy, it kind of taught me how to grow in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
He was already dialed in with like the right people, and he's like, boom. So I'm traveling, I'm seeing this other part of the world. This motherfucker is selling weed legally on weed maps, early days of weed maps. Like, and I was just thinking, damn, I gotta go when I get back, I'm coming to check out old, we call him Bird, old Bird, man. We gotta go check his spot out. And we're like, yo, what's up, Bird? What do you got going on? We walk in this place, and it was shout out to this is the Green Light Collective.
Okay.
Legendary spot. Fire. I'm sure some people might remember, but Bird had it going on where he had like little grows back, you know, behind things, and he had like a 6 lighter here and a 10 lighter there.
Love it.
And he just started growing crazy, and I'm seeing all that shit, but I'm like still kind of like scared to dive into that world because it was a new world, you know?
Of course, it's always weird. That transition's weird.
So I'm like dibble and dabbling with the hustle and doing, you know, some grow shit, but I'm really just like, I'm trying to see the world, surf, learn about this healing shit, you know? And old Bird's over there just blowing it up, going for it, you know?
Fire.
And so I come back from that travel, and you know, anytime I was away for like 6-7 months, anytime you were out of the US and you're in a different frequency, you're gonna expand. Like my mind had expanded greatly. I was just like way more open to maybe the weed shit is, you know, maybe we could do something, you know? And so I came back and I see Bird killing it. I'm like, all right, cool. Seemed like he's doing all right. No one's really fucking with him too much. All right, let's start a grow. Let's get some grows going. So I come back, I got my, I spent all my money on the travel, right? So that's another part of it. So now I'm like, all right, I got to get my money back. All right, let's do this. And my boys were like, yo, I got 2 indoor rooms and these like dep tents in Escondido, California.
Okay.
And it's right outside of San Diego. Great little dep environment. You know, it's a little more away from the fog. And we had the Purple Kush. I don't know if you ever had the Purple Kush.
PKs were crazy. Like, all right, hold on, time out.
Yeah.
Oh, now we talking 08, 09. Purple Kush.
Yep.
Yeah, come on, son.
09.
We was getting those.
Yeah, it was probably
crazy.
About 08
Small
or 09.
buds, but fucking just goddamn gas, bro.
Yeah, that like minty, gassy.
Yeah, minty, yo, there was nothing like it, man. When the PKs hit, I was never mad, bro.
Bro, that was like our thing at that time. It was Blue Dream and PK.
Blue Dream and PK, that's very accurate for that time frame. Yeah,
that's what I was doing, bro.
Those PKs were stupid,
and
bro.
my friend, he had the Blue Dream forever. He had it so long ago.
Most did.
It was incredible how long, like, that I think about it now. I'm like, damn, he had that shit like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And he is basically calling it Wet Dream. He was trying to, you know, already brand because he had the dispensary.
Love it.
And so I'm like, you know, seeing what these guys are doing, it's inspiring me, but I'm still a little like scared to go fully in with, and I've seen how crazy they are. So I'm like, shit, let me kind of I mean, how am I gonna do it my way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm of course getting the stuff from them, like straight from the source, straight from the farm, and they're showing me, you know, the hash. They were making hash at the time, like early days, you know,
Like bubble?
like making tons of bubble.
Yeah.
And they would make like hash cookies and shit like that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he would give us blocks of hash. Every time I would come to California in like 2009, I would just have like 10 fucking bricks of just hash, like old school
Black hash.
you know? And he'd be like, all right, go on Weed Maps, find these stores and see if they want to buy this hash for this price. And we just drive around like LA and San Diego and finding a couple stores, and he'd get a little commission and be like, yeah. And I'm sure he was making a killing on these things, because I swear they're paying like, you know, thousands of dollars for a brick of hash at that time. You know, like 2,000 maybe or something like that.
And what are they using to make it? Are they using trim, or are they using what kind of material?
This was probably like trim
Dry
from
run?
like, this hash wasn't that good. It was probably like some, you know, not like Mexi brick material, but like some swag, you know?
Got you.
And you could see like little pieces of shit in it
Plant
sometimes.
matter, yeah,
like
yeah.
it was not good, you know? But,
Yeah.
but that was the
But
task.
that's what it was.
He's like, you want to earn your stripes with me, kid? Here's what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just like the little brother. I was friends with his little brother and his friends, so we were a little younger. So we were like, all right, let's go show him what we could do, you know? And we'd get rid of it every time.
Oh, nice.
And he'd be like, hell yeah, come on back. I got
Oh,
more.
yeah, little homie. Come on back.
I got more. And so one thing led to another. I'm like trying to figure out, you know, what's my system. I don't want to be involved. I'm always trying to ride my own wave. I don't want to like just jump on board to someone else's shit, you know?
Sure.
But I'm noticing how they're doing it, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to move a little different, you know? And I finally get like a little spot around like 2010. Like,
Okay.
so my friend's like, yo, I'm going to get this other house, and, you know, shit, if you want to invest, you know, we could do it like that. So they had like just houses going, multiple houses going at the time, where they had like, I don't know, like Alaskan Thunderfuck. They had that Ganny. We always had the Ganny. The Blue
Always
Dream.
had a Ganny.
That, like, just trying to think of some of the strains they had, but it was like, I think that we had like Northern Lights. There was like a Northern Lights in there. There was the Grape Ape came along around then.
Ooh.
Yo, I
was a
loved
good
the
one.
Grape Ape. And so that was
a good one.
Strawberry Cough, like LA Confidential, shit like that.
Never had a good batch of Strawberry Cough or LA Confidential, bro. I just never did.
I had one guy that was
Never did.
a Strawberry Cough guy, and that was like his thing.
Oh, I believe it, bro. People, the way people talk about it, I know I just got whack batches, and I was super late to the party where those were not hype by the time I got it. So who the
they
fuck
passed
knows
real quick,
how watered down they were, if it even was even that type shit. You know what I'm saying?
bro. I think LA Confidential. I can't say that I had like a great batch of that either, but I've had a great batch of Strawberry Cough, which is like
Nice.
strawberry candy,
Was it straight strawberries?
strawberries, like
Yeah.
everything's
My
like.
shit was like, hey, bro.
Hey,
No
I can
terps.
see how it gets like that. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's real like ugly looking. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of a lot of orange.
It was
hairs.
ugly.
Yeah. But they had the Grape Ape was fire, and it was
Yeah.
purple, and they didn't have that much perp back then.
No,
You know, that was the early perp strain,
that was.
and so I like that one a lot. I really those ones stuck around, and that purple Kush.
Oh, that fucking purple kush, dog.
Yeah.
God damn.
Bro, can I get a water?
Absolutely, bro.
Take a little break.
Yo, can you get him a water? We're gonna take a little break. All right, so you in California now. You got your first grow house popping. What happens next?
So basically, I was still back and forth.
Okay.
So my job was basically to fund things and then to get rid of everything. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yep.
That was my role. And so
Yeah.
the homie, he was really, you know, the main grower at that time. And so I was just learning all the shit from him because he would need help. I'd be in there learning, like, you know, all the different tech. And it would be, you know, some fire. At the time, I just remember we had some fire. Like, everybody in, you know, that part of San Diego was like, yo, these guys got some fire
Let's
right
go.
here. You know? But we always didn't worry about getting rid of it out here because we're from the East Coast.
That's right.
So we just already knew what to do. People would give us like these prices and stuff and be like, nah, I already got it. I'm good. You know, I figured it out. It's not that much. Let me just do what I do. And I was going back and forth to around that time, I ended up going to New York.
Okay.
So I was like in North Carolina, Virginia Beach area. That's where I grew up and all that. But then at the time, I was like, man, I had some was with a different girl, and she was like in New York, so I had to go check it out. And first thing, I'm like, I gotta just get some delivery service over here in New York. I see that shit happening. I'm like, oh man, this is fire! Like these guys got it dialed. They got it. They got like that half baked shit. Like
Yeah.
they're like, yo, they really got it like that. You know,
Facts, bro.
like Branson and all that. Like that's a real thing.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Real thing.
I forget what Chappelle was calling it in the movie, but it's basically like
Mr.
Branson. Samson instead of
Samson.
Branson.
I want to talk to Samson.
Yeah, I was seeing that and I was like, man, that's the first thing I'm gonna do when I get to New York.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like a beach kid. I'm an island boy at this time, but I'm like, let me go check out the big city. I was always a chameleon. I could fit in anywhere.
Hell yeah, man. I can tell, dog.
And so this girl, she was bad, and she was like, yo, you got to come here. I was like, all right. So we're up there. I'm like getting the deliveries, and I'm like, yo, call the homie in Santa Cruz, actually. I'm like, yo, what's up? You think you can get something to me like tomorrow? He's like, yep. And all of a sudden, we had the Girl Scout cookies.
Oh my God, bro.
We had the early days, like 2010, like 2011, maybe.
You
Early
were so
with that
late if you
winter.
had those, bro.
And all of a sudden, they had, I think I had like maybe that and some sour. Because I knew the sour was going to work, right?
You goddamn right.
But when I said I got sour and Girl Scout cookies, they were like, dog, I don't need edibles. They're like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, nah, this is the like burner and cookies. They're like, what's that? Like,
Right,
Still,
real shit.
they weren't up on it
It was
as
early,
like they
bro.
are now. And so I had like immediately got rid of that in like a weekend, like breaking down. I was like, holy shit, New York is wild. And at that time, this chick, she was just wild too. So she was just talking to the doorman. He's like, yo, the doorman, he wants some weed. I'm like, yo, doorman, what's good? How you doing, man? Nice to meet you. My man, shout out to Vic, man. And he basically was from Washington Heights.
Nice.
And he like,
Tato.
yeah, so he was in Washington Heights OG. And he was like, yo, man, I run the mailroom. I'm like, oh yeah? I'm like, all right.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, what's the deal? And he's like, man, just keep giving me some of that Girl Scout cookie or whatever that was.
Yeah,
like,
whatever the fuck
and the
that
sour,
was.
like, give me, you know, you got some fire, bro. He's
Yeah.
like, you like the Kim dog? Like, he was up on. He's like, where's the haze? And he thought I'm from Cali. We have the shit growing in Cali. He's thinking we're growing haze and shit. I'm like, dog, that's only over here. Like,
Yeah.
I've already knew about it from like the older heads, you know, taught me about the
What you
haze.
learn about the piff, bro?
So Virginia got the
yeah.
New York shit coming
Yeah,
down.
no doubt.
Like Virginia
Yeah,
Beach,
VA knew
Norfolk.
about piff.
So they would
Who's
have the
serving them?
piff, and they would call it just the haze. Like they wouldn't
The
even
haze,
say
yeah,
piff
haze,
usually.
haze, yeah.
But they would be like, "Yo, I got the haze," and we knew that was from New York, and that's what they would always tell us.
Yeah,
Really, Florida connection too.
exactly. Once we figured it all out.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
But it's those old school like landrace sativas and shit. I like that. Like I like smoking that. You know?
Okay.
I like to just change it up sometimes.
Like a high with a side of a panic attack.
Yeah, like a little
Yeah, that's
panic
cool.
attack. That's the test your
cool.
mind like surfing with the sharks. You know.
I love that analogy.
But yeah, it was basically like we were in New York and we were figuring out what they liked, you know, and at the time shit was changing rapidly around that time. Like
Yeah.
there was so many flavors, I feel like, around that time. Like 2011, 2012
That's
at
a
this
fact,
point.
bro.
And I'm seeing like Sherb and Gelato started to come through. Like we were early because Santa Cruz had the flavors. And my homies moved from San Diego to Santa Cruz.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, like the San Diego shit had gotten popped. Like they're fucking got raided and the whole shit in Escondido,
Yeah.
they're out.
No
you know?
shit.
And so they were like, all right, we got to switch it up. Santa Cruz, the other surf city. You know?
Tight, bro.
And so all of a sudden, we're in Santa Cruz with some shit, and there, you know, some guys are growing still the Blue Dream, the Ganny, the fucking staples that everyone liked where we were from. And the Blue Dream was just like the yielder, but it was never my favorite. You
Yeah,
know?
same.
But anyway, we're going back and forth New York and like California, and I'm seeing like what's going on in California, and I'm seeing what's going on now in Colorado. Had just passed around that time, and Washington. And I'm like, oh shit, New York's gonna be the biggest market in the world. Like, this is insanity. Like, everybody smokes weed over here. I will go into any apartment in certain areas of New York, and it smells like weed when you walk in the fucking apartment complex.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's after 5 o'clock. Like,
Yeah, that's a
that's
fact.
what it's gonna be. And so I'm just seeing it like through the delivery shit, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna do my own little delivery in New York.
No
And
shit.
I just do my breakdown service.
Ambitious, motherfucker.
I was always like independent,
That's
worker.
ballsy, bro.
And I'm like an outsider, so I'm like, no one knows
Yeah,
me.
dog.
Like, you know what I mean? They could fucking slit my throat, or I could just slide in like a little ninja, and I just like,
Yeah.
I'm not on anyone's territory.
ninja
I'm
mode
just-
for sure.
I'm just like a little like ninja in the night, and I just
Yeah.
disappear, and that's how I was able to keep it. I don't know how, but
How long were you out there doing that? That's impressive, bro.
from like 20, pretty much like the winter of 2010 and 11. I think it was like 2011, early 2011 is when I locked in, till about 2013, 14.
Damn, we could have got some bread, bro.
I wish I
Fuck.
would have met you over
Me
there,
too,
bro.
dog.
I was got a lot of Jersey guys
Man, we
coming.
could have got some bread, homie. Oh, I could have turned you up.
Bro, and this is
That's
how
fire.
crazy it was. I mean, it's a long time ago, so
Yeah, no doubt.
and we ain't doing this no more. But at
Of
the
course.
same time, like that shit was wild. I had just got the Instagram at that time and putting the shit on there and,
Oh,
and
shit.
just getting these little apps at the time. And I had the main shit though was Craigslist.
Yeah.
Fucking Craigslist, bro.
You doing Craigslist on the East Coast?
That was in New York City.
Oh, wow. No shit. I heard them doing it out here, not in the East. That was
Bro,
way
there
too
was
crazy
people
for
doing
me.
it. There was people doing it where they would just put an advertisement. And I don't know, man. I would get one ad up. They would block it because they would want to kick you out of their little circle.
Sure.
But as soon as you get one little ad up at that time, you would get calls for like 2 weeks straight.
Oh, no shit.
Incredible. Like unbelievable.
Wow.
You know? Risky as fuck.
Risky as fuck.
But
Any close calls?
eventually I got arrested.
Did you?
Yeah, doing this shit.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? Someone got the wrong order, and there was a snitch at Washington Square Park.
In Washington Square Park.
In Washington Square Park,
Of
bro.
all places. I know people
all
that have been
places.
popped there, bro. Nah, that's about right.
There was a lot of little stings at that time where
Yeah.
they got me, a homeless guy, this other kid, and his 9-month pregnant girlfriend, bro. That all she had was just the old school scales.
The little handheld
The
joint.
handheld joints,
Yeah.
and they took her in the paddy wagon and put her hands behind her back and everything.
Foul. son.
Pregnant as fuck. And so they took us to the tombs. You know, we went down to the precinct. They took us
bro,
to
you
the
went
tombs. And we got to see the
Damn.
tombs, you know, got the real experience.
Yeah,
and,
you did.
And they were just like, what the fuck you doing in here, white boy? Like
Right.
the whole time they're
That
just like,
part.
and I'm just realizing like, damn, this is like, the war on drugs is hella racist.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Just to see what was going on in the tombs, that shit was mind blowing, bro.
Oh, yeah.
How the fuck, in all of Manhattan, where you end up is the tombs. Everyone of every precinct funnels you down to
Yep,
the
that's
central
where you
booking
start.
unit.
Before the island.
And you go, yeah, that's where it begins for
Yeah.
everybody, pretty much.
Yeah,
the hardened
bro.
ones and the low level shit.
Yes, sir. That's a fact.
There's different levels, like down different floors,
Yep.
like 6 floors below.
It's hell, bro.
It's literally
You're in
nuts.
hell.
It's nuts. And so seeing that shit, and I was the only white boy in that motherfucker, I was like, what the fuck? Of all Manhattan, ain't nobody done nothing? Like, no low level crime?
Mm-hmm.
And they're all just like in there for the same shit. Just some weed, some smoking, drinking, just some dumb shit, not
Dumb
having
shit,
an idea.
bro.
And you end up your whole weekend. If you're caught Friday night,
Yep.
you're stuck till Monday morning.
That's a fact.
And you're just sitting there and they don't have no food that's good or nothing that's good for you. And it's
Oh, yeah.
terrible for your health and mental health to be in
Yeah,
there.
bro.
So just seeing that shit, you know, it's like El Salvador when I was a kid, just being like, holy shit, like this is I didn't know. I wasn't aware of
Sure.
the real problem, you know, which is at that time in New York, it was still stop and frisk.
Stop and frisk era was crazy.
I was
bro.
seeing shit going on like that was crazy, you know, like in Harlem and stuff, they were just like policing it way different than the West Village.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
With the cameras coming up and, you know, it's just crazy
Yeah,
shit going
dog.
on. And that kind of like, you know, raised me to be like, man, I love it in New York. I love the hustle out here. I love the weather, the grime,
It's
the grit.
unmatched.
You know, it built my hunger. Like that's why
Yeah,
I'm
dog.
fucking hungry.
That's cool. You spent a chapter out there, man. That was smart for your
not
hustle
a,
career.
Not
Real
a lot
shit.
of people know that about Surf's Up. Is like the real shit spawned out of the breakdown service in New York.
Fire.
Yeah, and that shit was just like I was an outsider. I wasn't I knew a lot of people, but I wasn't ever trying to be like trying to take over someone's block or do some like heavy shit.
Come on,
I was just like, yo, I got a little thing,
not something you do
small
out there.
batch fire. I'm just a little surfer guy with the small batch fire.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'd be surfing out there in New York,
in Long Island.
in Long Island. And I would take the train with my board
Fucking
bag.
surfboard. I've never seen that in New York. I've
Bro.
seen a lot of things in New York. Never have I seen a fucking surfboard
Bro.
cruising through the fucking subway, bro.
They would ask the most questions, like going through like I was at one point I was staying in Crown Heights, Brooklyn.
What?
And
With
I was,
the surfboard?
and I was going
Oh
on the
my
train, bro,
God, son.
all the way to the beach. It wouldn't cost much. You could get all the way to the beach.
Hell yeah, $1.50.
Yeah, you're right to the beach, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Walk to the water.
Pew.
And all I would take the board bag and shit, and they would be like, "What the fuck? You got a dead body in there? What are you doing?" You know, people would be fucking with you like, "What is that? A piano?" You know, I'm like, "What are you talking about? Was that a bass guitar? What are you playing? What
What
is
you
that?"
doing, kid?
And I open it up, and it's a surfboard. And they're like,
Shit.
They're like, "Oh shit, it's like January." They're like, "Yo, you going out there?" I'm like, "Yeah, we got all the wetsuits
Wetsuits,
and all that."
yeah.
And I don't really like to surf like that, but every now and again, it's like a novelty. It's
Really?
a crazy experience to surf in the ice cold, like snowing and shit.
Yeah, bro.
But it's amazing too, because you're just like feel like a kid again. You're out there in this weird experience, like a snow globe, and I don't know. I just love
So
it.
you've surfed in the snow.
Not too much, like once or twice in life.
That's fucking cool. That's all
Once
you
in
need,
North
just to be able to
Carolina.
talk about it.
Once in North Carolina, it was just flurrying up, you know.
Yeah.
And then once in New York and
Wow.
Long Island. And so like people would see that shit and they would just laugh. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
But
they're
sometimes
not fucking with you.
sometimes it would be like filled up with packs.
Yeah, right?
And
Yeah.
sometimes it would be surfboards.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it was just the ultimate way to live that life out there at the
That's
time.
cool.
It was just like the little small batch guy with the first time I ever heard people call it exotics was in New York talking about the Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
They're like, "Bro, this guy got some exotics."
Yeah, that's a fact.
And then all of a sudden they just started, that was like more of a thing. Around that time, people started kind of saying that more.
Rare. It's exotic.
Yeah, it wasn't just the same sour.
Let me ask you this, bro. The first time you smoke Cooks, right? Like, okay, so you're taking a new terpene profile. It's giving you a different effect. I got so high.
Nah,
like notably high. Like I
slumps.
remember how high I was. And I remember I was smoking my boy Chop. And, you know, I love you, bro. But I didn't always used to give him the freshest batch because sometimes I had to, like, you know, get rid of this shit. So I'm like, so we smoking. He's like, yo, what the fuck is that? I'm like, oh, yeah, it's this shit I just gave you, son. Da-da-da-da.
Bro,
It was not the shit I just gave him. It
it's
was
kind of
cookies.
like, to me, I was on like the Blue Dreams and the sours and that.
Yeah, same, bro.
And it was a way different high. It was way more
different.
sedative, indica kind of
Yeah,
high.
dog. It fucked me up.
And I liked it though. I
Me
liked
too.
it. And New Yorkers liked it because they're like high strung and like they need something
We
to
get
calm the
high,
fuck down.
bro. We trying to get high. If your shit ain't power, this shit is not gonna work, bro.
That's it.
This flavor shit's new. You know what I'm saying? We needed that power back then. You know what I'm
Sour
saying?
has the power, but it's more like that sativa effect, kind
Yeah.
of like that upper like power.
Yep.
But the indica kind of like cookies hybrid or whatever that was, that shit was hitting right.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? And that minty taste, that like,
Yeah.
man, it tastes like a
Like,
thin mint.
We talking the first couple years of it before, you know, we got
It
all
got
these
watered
different
down.
watered down batches, you know what I'm saying?
This is
Yeah.
this is 2011 probably.
Yeah.
And then I
So
rode
after
that
New
wave.
York- yeah, what
I'm
happens
going
after
back
New
and forth, right? I'm
Yeah.
going back and forth. And then the whole time I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna actually like get out to Cali and just stay there. And when I got arrested, I was like, all right, that's a good way. That's a good outro. You know, let me
Right.
let me dip out and go out there. But I never. It was just like some petty shit. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, no big deal.
But at the end of the day, I was like motivated me finally to take that final flight and get over
Yeah.
there with all my shit and be like, all right, I'm growing. You know,
Yeah.
and I had my same homie we worked with for years, and we basically set up a farm on this property for this family in Mountain Ranch, California. It's a fucking crazy ass place in Calaveras County, not too far
Okay.
from here.
Not too far from here.
Not that far.
Yeah.
And
Good place to
you
get
know,
packs.
Yeah, it was crazy at that time. That was when all the outdoor shit was going nuts, and like we set everything up. We grew like 99 giant plants, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
this whole fire came, you know, and the whole town of Mountain Ranch got burnt, like almost the whole
God
fucking town. bro.
damn, dog.
So like I got to see the full spectrum of from start to finish.
Yeah.
but I had one year of like a good start to finish. There was like 30 plants, but then we went big the next year, like 2015, I think this is, and this wildfire came, and I'm not from the East, right? So we're not used to that.
No way, man.
We're used to hurricanes and all that.
Yeah.
Crazy weather.
Crazy snowstorms and shit.
But not just fire burning everything. So it was like I just had to dip out, and I came back. Before that, I had to go somewhere before that fire happened. I came back and everything was just decimated. Like, you know,
Damn,
I had like a
bro.
trailer. It was just completely burnt.
Everything.
I had like clothes and shit in there, money in there, like some mushrooms in there, like shit just all was gone.
Just cooked.
Yeah, just cooked. And then we had some plants like that survived. Like on the inside of the 99, there was like maybe 30 plants that were like halfway burnt on one side.
Yeah.
And that's when we learned about extraction. You know?
I bet you did. I was like, don't tell me you finished these out. Stop it.
Nah, that was when it was like, what do we do with this shit? And they're like, well,
There's
what
always
do you know
distillate.
about BHO?
Oh, BHO, you blasted it.
distillate?
Yeah,
Like
okay,
the
sure.
best parts went to BHO.
Yeah.
There was some that first time ever we made distillate, right?
Campfire Kush Disty, baby. Let's go.
That's the whole town that's all they had left, bro. And this town was killing it the year before. It was amazing. But but because of that shit, in 2015, that's what led into Calaveras opening it up and saying, look, we're going to regulate this shit. Because it was like all the land was burnt, it was dirt cheap, and all these people were coming from all over to grow in Calaveras County. It was like right when they were deciding, before the recreation shit, they were like trying to change Prop 215. They were trying to make it like so it's real medical, you know, like real regulated. And then when the rec shit hit, they just like merged that together. But they already were preparing for some shit to be like more regulated around 2016, and Calaveras was like, nah, we're with it. We're gonna do for $5,000 you get a license. And all of a sudden they just gave out like 800 licenses to 800 growers.
Wow.
Made like $4 million in one day or a couple days.
Wow.
And they were like, yeah, we're with it. You know, like, let's regulate, let's create a program. And we were all like going back and forth to the county meetings, doing all that shit. Like, you know, getting the public involved in like, hey, this is not a bad thing for your community. You know, you just got devastated by this fire. Let's fucking get some money out here. Like, this shit's fucked up. Sure. And so everyone kind of like got it, they were down with it. And they started this program, and we were able to not just have 99 anymore. We were like a square footage thing where you could just do like as many plants as you want in that square footage. Sure. And that was how they were doing it, and that's how they do it now. Yeah. But at the time, that was the first time anyone was able to be like, I'm going to grow a half acre, and they're not going to fuck with me, and I'll do, 1,000 plants in greenhouses. Yeah. And so we were growing like indoor in a greenhouse. Oh, yeah. Smaller pots, doing intense dry backs, and seeing the fucking indoor, the depths look like indoor. Oh, yeah. And at the time, people still, like 2016, they were still like, what is that, And so we had people come to the farm sometimes. I remember like having some people, I think they're from Jersey, to be honest, bro. Yeah. They came to the farm, and they were looking around, they were like filming shit and everything, and like having like their little way with seeing all this weed, fully regulated. And they're like, oh man, this is some bomb ass indoor. And I was just thinking, dog, we're at the greenhouse. Like, this is from this greenhouse, right? Yeah. I don't have the indoor facility. Yeah. But they just like, I don't know what, they just didn't make the connection right then.
It was too good to be true.
Yeah, it was too good to be true, right?
Yeah, you did your job.
It was just like OG era at the time. It was like a lot of OG.
Everyone wanted gas.
Yeah,
all East Coast wanted. Sours and gas. Still. GGs, OGs, and sours.
A lot of GGs at the time. And we started to get the sherb. We had the sherb, and we had this birthday cake cut of sherb.
Ooh, nice.
If any people probably remember
birthday cake? Oh yeah.
That shit was very super fucking terpy, like
creamy,
exotic.
terpy, gassy.
Yeah, a little candy note.
It was kind of like a wedding cake cousin.
It kind of had like a.
It was a little cakey.
If you had like a sherb mixed with a cake.
Yeah, like a sherb cake. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with you there.
But it was early days like of like that exotic wave of Skittles.
Yeah, Z just came out.
We had the Gelato 41 and 33 and 45.
Those were good to have in your stable.
And then I mean some random ones I wish I had. Like there was this Hitman OG that was fire. There was 501st OG.
I remember that one.
So fire.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Turned color a little bit in the
Yeah,
greenhouse.
my homies in G Valley had that one.
Yeah, exactly. So that was like the exotics of the time, right? The like purple OG.
It was, bro. That was it.
Yeah.
Word. That was the exotics.
And then that was like going really well, but then Calaveras, you know, being how it was out there, everyone's going so well.
Yeah.
There was a opposition, and they were like, "Nah, we don't like it like this. Like, oh, there's too many hippies at the grocery store, and there's too many like things going on in our community we don't like." So there was this like uprising.
A lot of parking lot action.
A lot of parking lot action at the county courthouse, you know, in Calaveras. And so these guys, they made it on the, I forget exactly how it passed, but they ended up banning cannabis.
I remember that. 2017, no?
Yeah, it was 2018.
18,
early
yeah.
2018. It was like the recreational shit had come together in 2018. And then the fucking, a week after that shit passed, and we had the license and everything, they banned cannabis. But we had 6 months to stop. They had like a clause so you could just keep going. And till like this, we got like one more harvest in. And when we did that, we filmed a movie out there. And they filmed this movie Green Rush. It's on Amazon.
I gotta fucking see this, bro.
You gotta check this out.
I saw you talk about this in another
funny as shit.
podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta check this out, bro. Because it's some
Is
funny
it still
shit.
on Netflix?
It's on
Or
Amazon.
Amazon. Still right now. I can
Yeah,
go watch it.
yeah,
All right,
yeah,
bet.
yeah.
I'm gonna watch it.
It's
tonight.
probably on some other platforms I don't know about.
No
but
doubt.
It's definitely on that one. But it's Uriah Faber. He produced it. So he's a legend from SAC.
Yeah.
And all his friends, like a lot of his friends were in it. Like Andre Feely.
Nice,
he's like
dude.
a legend MMA fighter.
Yeah. That's fucking
And
cool,
a
man.
couple other like actors and shit. This guy like Mike Foy, like you remember Jackass?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you remember Rab himself?
Rab. I don't think so.
He was like the guy that was like he would like shit himself and stuff. He would do like weird
Kind of,
shit.
sorta, yeah.
Like there was a shit called CKY before Jackass. It was a skate movie. It was like CKY, and there was like all part of that crew of Bam Margera and
I
all
remember
those
that
guys.
too, yeah.
So they're like skater guys originally.
Yeah.
But they turned their shit into like Jackass pranks and stunts and doing weird shit like that, and made a ton of money doing it. He was on the film set. He was like a filmer, you know? And I don't know, just such a random little time to be out there.
That's so crazy, bro. At your spot.
At our farm for like 2 weeks, they're just like posted up there, like filming shit, like all the plants, and it was about a robbery on the farm, and my friend, it was about his story, but it was like made up a little bit, you know,
shit.
added some Hollywood stuff to it. But it was just during that time, bro, everybody in Calaveras was growing. There was nothing like else popping out there.
Right.
Wine, a lot of wine.
Yeah.
A lot of like tourism and shit for the wine.
I've been there. It's very desolate, bro.
Bro,
Just
it's-
farms in
yeah.
a little ass strip of a town.
It's kind of like a little, mini version of like Sonoma or something over there, but it's like
I
real
can see
small.
that.
And there's cool little spots like, go see a waterfall, jump off the rocks into the water.
Oh, that's cool.
Shit like that.
Didn't know
But
about that spot.
There's like a snowboarding place up on the top of the hill and the top of the mountain. Cool. But it's at the time I was like, all right, well, I don't try to force things. When the county's gonna ban this shit, I'm not gonna like stick around and just hope for the best, or they already got all my information. Like, what am I gonna do? Keep growing and just get busted? Like, this is stupid. Like, so I was like, all right, I gotta go somewhere else and start over.
Yeah.
After the fire, I was like, all right, I gotta go start over, and it worked out like 2 good years. And then like after that, I'm like, oh, they banned cannabis. Up, we gotta start over again. Like, fuck, what else is new?
Yeah, here we go.
You're really living this shit, bro. This is how it is. Like,
you know what to expect, bro. You know how to move when it happens. Cause fuck, bro, we've seen this movie before.
This happens over and over.
Yeah.
And it's just part of the life. And I just like,
that's right.
Keep it moving and don't look back. I don't ever rewind the movie. I just keep.
You got a good attitude about things and how things unfold in your life, man. Just keep it pushing.
Just gotta keep it pushing, man.
Yeah.
People fucking fuck you over. Just keep it going.
That's why you're still going. You're successful, bro, because you didn't fold.
That's it, man. And that was really like putting me to the ultimate test, to be honest. Is like all those little things happening back to back to back, and then when I went to Santa Cruz, we got it all together. We got a dope property, had a dope investor, like my homie. He's an NFL player, badass motherfucker. Got this dope property with like avocado trees and badass shit. and we were trying to set up some greenhouses. It's an agriculture property. It fit the bill, what they're looking for.
Cool.
Get it all permitted. But they wouldn't let us do it. There was like, the county had certain guidelines, and the fire department didn't like one of the guidelines where the road wasn't 20 feet wide. Just little shit that you deal with.
Breaking your balls.
Yeah, just shit you deal with when you're trying to get these cannabis permits, and do it right. So at that time, like, it just wasn't going to work out the way we wanted it to work out. And that was like, around that time, they started kind of like cracking down on the outdoor and the greenhouse too. Like 2019, they started like 2018, 19, they started saying, oh, shit's regulated now. It's taxed now. It's rec. All right, let's go after these outdoor growers because it's easy to find them. We're just going to take a look and you'll see some, And they just spent a lot of money on just cracking down on all these like small time farmers in Santa Cruz, and everywhere, but really hard in Santa Cruz. And these guys got fucked. They like all like put their name in the hat, like, hey, I'm ready to do it right, like the way you guys want us to do it. I'll spend some money with you and let's do it right. And like the way everything's grown in Santa Cruz is up in the mountains. So none of those properties were zoned agriculture.
So
none of them would work. And they had built this shit for years under the rules, like some like 20 years. Like WHAM is from there. WHAM is like this organization that literally got busted growing like thousands of plants, fought the case in the early 2000s and won. And they're like, they do it for like the veterans,
Okay.
And so they had like thousands of those the Prop 215 licenses.
Mm-hmm.
So like Santa Cruz has like a rich history with cannabis. It's like a coastal, Central Coast Humboldt type shit out there.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's a lot of history with that. So I'm out there and like all that shit started happening. And I'm like, damn, I can't do what we want. We already invested in this shit. All right. Well, you don't let me do what I want, but we got to figure something out. Might as well just, keep it growing and figure out a way to grow where they're not going to know. And like, that was really just the ultimate test.
That's right.
At that time to just say, man, are you really like for this plant, this life? Like sometimes, man makes stupid laws, and those laws, sometimes they don't, work out in the right people's favors. So sometimes you got to follow God's laws, and sometimes when you're doing this type of work, you're really offering a healing medicine to the alternatives that are out there, in my belief,
Keeps you going, man.
So I think that at that time it was like the ultimate choice too. Like, what do you want to do? How do you really want to live? Like, what's the lifestyle you want? All right, we got to throw something up, And the indoor shit started popping, and people really wanted that exotic kind of shit. Like runts started coming out. People wanted that lemon cherry gelato runts, even back then, but they just couldn't get it. It wasn't available enough.
It really wasn't.
And then we were, super blessed to know some cool people that had the right cuts and everything. Got like pop some seeds, find some new genetics, growing runts, and a lot of biscotti. And that's one of my favorites. I don't know if you ever like biscotti, like the original.
Love Scotty, bro.
Yeah, like
that first
2018.
I moved
biscotti.
here in 2017, bro. That was like my shit when that dropped, bro. Me and my cousin, we were biscotti fiends, bro. Them original connected batches.
Yes.
From the fella that just gave you that.
Yes.
That right there?
Yes, sir.
That was the man behind that.
Yes.
I met his homie that was the guy that wrote RC and the Pheno.
On there.
Did those 4 Phenos of biscotti, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
Right out of the room. I was like, oh, that was you? Oh, shit.
That's crazy, bro.
That's why you see that RC and the number on the manifest.
These where I got these cuts from were from SAC, like, what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's where you was getting them.
Yeah, I don't know who stole.
You were lucky. You were
or whatever,
right.
but someone.
You were lucky to get those back then,
probably
bro.
connected to that,
Yeah, dog.
Somebody was working there.
Little snip.
Yeah, I think I know who.
A little big gulp. A little big gulp action.
But it's cool.
That was cool.
God bless him.
Shit happens, bro.
God bless him, man. He helped everybody. But that was like the exotic wave started hitting, and I started just being like, you know what, this greenhouse shit's cool. But man, right around that time I had a kid, and I was like, oh shit, like, all right, I want to spend more time with my kid.
No doubt.
Going to these county meetings and pleading your case and trying to do it right, it's just not working. Let me just throw a fucking little 6-lighter over here and let me see what happens.
See what it do.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden that turns into more, and you turn into a better spot, and then next thing you know, you're just like, man, I love this shit. Like, I just like really fucking, this is part of my life now. And at that point, you're just so invested in these genetics. You just got to flower them out. You got to see what they are. You got to keep them going.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, that's like for about 10 years, or I would say like maybe from 18 to like 28, I was pretty much just traveling surfing.
Okay.
You know? And then for like the last 10, I've pretty much just been dedicated to this plant.
Dope.
You know? I've been trying to surf, but it's just so much work. With all this stuff, I just gets, you know, how much time I go sit out in the water for 3 hours. It's a lot of time out of my day.
It is.
And when I'm on this grind, you know.
That's a fact.
But the whole principles growing up surfing, it rang true with the weed shit, you know,
Nice.
with the growing. Just like understanding that, you know, there's something greater than you. When you're surfing, you really understand there's something bigger than you out there. Like you ain't top of the food chain no more. And when you're out in the woods on top of the hill, you kind of get that same experience.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be like,
oh, yeah.
Nobody's coming if a bear comes out here right now.
That's a fact.
You know? Or just some madman, like, just showed up, you know? And so, like, that's really where, I don't know, the surfing shit trained my mind for this whole lifestyle, too.
That's a real thing, man.
Yeah.
I can see how that translates. That's very interesting. I would have never thought that...
that connection.
Yeah, but the way you bust down surfing, to me, that makes total sense, bro.
It's like
That's
a
cool.
little mind control exercise or
dog.
something, you know?
So when is Surf's Up born? Is this around the same time?
So this
or
is
am I getting
kinda-
too far ahead?
No, this is pretty close
Okay.
to around the time where it was like, I wasn't calling it Surf's Up, but I was realizing that, like, man, it was going good, right? Let's say 2018, 2019, it was doing really good. The prices started going up with all the memes, all the crazy memes that were going around. Shout out to
Waves and Zach.
Uncle Zach.
You feel me? Uncle Two Stack Zach.
With all the memes and shit, controlling the pack prices around that time, man.
Bro.
And there was all these like busts happening and stuff. So Uncle Zach and Waves would be hitting them with, like next week prices is gonna be 2 more points, you know, shit like that. And
Two Stack Zach.
yeah, shout out to Zach, man. That's my brother.
Yeah,
and,
that's the guy. That's my cousine.
Yeah,
Good guy, man. Good fella.
Always on man of the culture. And so,
Interesting fella.
oh man, you got a crazy story.
Crazy story, bro.
I loved his podcast and everything.
Yeah,
and
we had a good time, man.
But no, I get to talk to him and stuff a lot, and we just, you know, we kick it with all these different branding ideas and stuff. We got a couple things coming too.
I heard, bro.
We got a couple
That
box
surfer
sets.
shit y'all about to do, I ain't even gonna speak on that shit. Is stupid. When he told me that, because I know you know what I mean? I know the
One
game
of the
and all that.
classics, you know.
We ain't gonna speak on it, bro.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna do numbers.
But the big
Go
shit,
ahead.
the big shit that is really super amazing about the surfing shit now is like, yo, kids, they have these surf parks everywhere,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So all of a sudden, these kids can go out there. They don't have to deal with the sharks.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about these
my
things.
speed.
There's a lifeguard, you know. But they could go surf and get the abilities and get the
Yeah,
skills
man.
and learn what it's
Yeah.
like to stand on the board and
Sure.
how to maneuver and shit. So then they could, you know, you might have a surfer from growing up right there at that American Mall spot I was
Yeah.
saying in Jersey. You could have some kid just going there every day, getting so good and hitting the ocean when it actually breaks once in a while.
Yeah, dog.
And then that kid out of Jersey is like the top surfer now, you know.
Right.
You're gonna see that one day.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool, man.
And so like we're gonna bring these box sets to like that community, you know what I mean? Like we want to
Yeah.
do events at these wave parks.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fire.
that's some real shit that we're gonna
Yeah, dog.
we're gonna figure out.
I mean, you're gonna be.
You can make it happen. Let us know. Hit us in the DM.
Holla.
But yeah, I love hanging out with people that are like Zach that are all just like into this whole shit, this whole branding, this whole thing of you know, pitching like to the culture, like where we grew up, the whole nostalgia.
Yeah.
So like with all these exotic strains and stuff with Surf's Up, it was born more like, of course I grew up surfing and shit. Surfers don't really even say like Surf's Up, dude. Like that's like kind of cheesy and funny,
Oh,
right?
for real? Okay.
But I think it's like to me, I was seeing like Jokes Up. And they were just killing it, you know. And they were I was growing the runts and the biscotti, you know. I was like, I need to come up with something that's like catchy and shit like that. And it was more like a paying tribute to their success, to them.
So Surf's
Be
Up.
like, yo, instead of Jokes Up, my life is Surf's Up, man. You
Yeah.
know. And every time I take the packs to my main guy, he would always be like, "Ooh, shit, smell like Hawaii." He's like, "Where we going, Tahiti?" Like, he would just all of a sudden say shit like that to me, and I'd be cracking up and be like, he'd be like, "Oh, surf's up, baby."
Yeah, dog.
One day he said, "Surf's up, baby," and I was like, "Oh shit, like that's it right there. That's it. Surf's up exotics."
That's fire.
Everyone started putting the exotics on it, you know. So I was like, all right, I'll do that. And then now I have some other shit that's like Surf's Up cannabis supply.
Okay.
So it's
cool.
dropping in Texas, Virginia, Carolina, places where they have the CBD laws and the Delta 9 and the THCA. Because it's like all spectrums of cannabis to me, you know.
Okay.
And it's just right now it's only the legalities and stuff.
No doubt.
But you can see how as soon as it's legal with real weed in their state, they're not going to be smoking the CBD no more.
No, sir.
They're not going to be smoking the
dude.
THCA or the Delta 9.
No.
They're just going to switch right over to the real stuff, you
Straight
know.
up.
And so we just, you know, kind of preparing the branding in certain ways in certain places right now. But it all really came from paying tribute to what Burner did, what Cookies has done, what the Cookie Boys, who are LB and Ski Mask and those guys, and turned into Runts and HP Farms and those guys. And man, shout out to them because they're really inspiring generations to think creatively with the weed shit.
Yeah, like if you say you haven't been inspired or like influenced by them, you're probably lying because they were the first ones to do it, bro. Like
big time.
Like fucking Burner gave you the map for worldwide cannabis. Doja fucking took that, ran with it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Shout out to Doja for sure.
You know what I'm saying. Doja and the whole
Draco.
gang, and then Runs did they thing, and like you see like that's the first time I started seeing stamps, right? Like the jokes up here, like you got Certs and you got fucking Gumbo and fucking these are monster fucking brands, bro. Like,
bro, they came up with that stamp concept.
Huge, bro. Yeah, you know? Bro. And I'm like, yo, this is the way the game evolved. Like, whether you like it or you don't like it, people have plenty of things to say, man. It's part of history.
Yeah, no,
and it did happen.
Part of it.
And
I was out here.
It ain't not gonna. You know what I mean? You can't go back. And like, yeah, if you a brand, man, yeah, I totally agree, bro.
Yeah,
you take fucking notes, bro. Success leaves clues, right?
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? It's a copycat business. You got to copy the right cat. You know what I'm saying? All the way to the bank.
And there's so much room for all these players. There's so much room out here for everybody.
People smoke weed, but everybody need to chill the fuck out.
I agree.
People are mad, yo.
People get real fucking
people
crazy.
Get so upset, man.
And everybody thinks, you know, just because it's possible for them to get some weed to put it in a bag is, you know, that's going to be their thing.
It's the other side of the coin. This means it's going to work either.
I'm just saying, like, if you want to start a pizza business, perhaps, but you never made pizza, you don't know the recipe, you don't have any money to start up, how could you ever...
Something to consider, folks.
How could you ever start a business with no capital, no knowledge or experience of doing that? It doesn't make sense. Why would weed work? It's just, it's another business now.
Yeah,
legit.
It is. But it's also a lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? There also is a culture that you have to fit into if it's going to work, you know what I'm saying? You have to be embraced by the culture and not do fuck shit. And like, it seems like a full-time job for people not to do fuck shit. Because I see it on the daily, bro.
No,
and
that's
people
for sure.
Fucking up their name and their brands because of the fuck shit.
That's the thing is this. There's a real ethic to the street shit that is lost in the corporate side sometimes. But it's like, if you just keep, all you have to do is just do what you say what you do what you say, follow through, be on time as best you can, like just show up,
keep your word, be solid,
just
do
don't
good business.
Yeah, don't run off
ever.
Like then it's done. You know, your credibility's done forever. But you could just keep it good. You'll make a lot more and go a lot further in this journey.
Yeah, that's right.
But I got blessed with some good people, and I've seen some bad people. But
of course.
At the same time, the blessings are, I'm blessing them. You know, I'm making sure that they can feed their family as well.
Of course.
You know, and that's really what it's about. Is it's like it's a family. You know?
Absolutely, bro.
You know how it is.
Yeah, my brand's family inclusive. You know what I'm saying? Very inclusive. That's why I call people Cugine, and I say familia because like. We're Cannon fam, Cannon familia. You know what I'm saying? It's the house, baby. At this fucking, come grab a slice, baby. You know what I mean?
We really got slices over here.
Yeah, we got slices for you, kid.
Yeah. But yeah, I love this shit. Like just
Yeah.
you
You can
love
tell.
this shit.
You can
like
tell, bro.
this is why we're
That's
here.
why I fuck
like,
with you. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
it. That's
This
it.
is a seamless conversation. You know what I'm saying?
It's not like these other people don't love it too. It's just like there's a deep love and years of experience. You know,
when you've been doing it longer than you haven't been doing it, I think that's when the scale starts to say, like, this is really my life's work. Like, this is really what I stand for, what I do. People know me for this. Like, you know what I'm saying?
10,000 hours.
Do the shit in
whatever.
my sleep, dog. Yeah, 10,000, bro.
Probably
Try
100,000.
50. You know what I'm saying? 400. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100,000.
Lost count. But yeah, man, are you making a splash into the rec market?
Yeah.
What's up? Talk about it, man.
So that's the thing is, we've been like just kind of like pheno hunting and finding shit. That's kind of what we do. And basically, we just keep that shit to ourselves, try it out, give it to the homies, see what's really good, because there's a lot of good weed out here. You know, there's a lot of good strains, and to find something unique is really hard. And you go through a lot of seeds and find nothing. So once we find a couple, now we're like able to, you know, give it to the right growers on the rec market to bring it through the distro and do it right. And basically we got a few things in place. So we're about to drop it, like maybe this perm waves you might see here in the near future, you know?
Hell yeah.
And that was our permanent marker BX1. That's a seed from the Seed Junkies and Doja did like a little seed collab.
Fire.
They dropped it, and it's the permanent marker crossed to the permanent push pop.
Ooh,
so
nice.
It's like a little different flair to it.
Hell yeah.
And so we found
great.
Out of 36, we found one that was just real frosty, pretty, purple, had nice, you know, taste to it, nice power to it.
What number was it?
That one was actually the number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah, of all the 36, that was 5.
Nice.
And there was a couple very similar ones, but that one I felt like had a little more of a sherby taste to it compared to the
versus the Scotty.
Yeah,
sure.
You know, there's a couple different profiles, but
good.
that perm shit is it's another like modern biscotti kind of to me.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, I like that shit. I like a biscotti. That's the one.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of like the new wave is just finding candy gas that has like power, but sweet, kind of got something different to it than just like a OG or something.
Sure.
You know, so that's kind of what we're working on to push in the rec market is not just like LCG and shit, but something that's a little more unique.
Sure.
Yeah.
What do you want to run through your strains real quick?
Shit. Let's see what we got here.
Player?
Right now we got the shark bait right here.
Shark bait.
Let me see this one. This shark bait is just like it's a LCG cross to the cherry gushers.
Oh, nice.
And this shit I just called it. Yeah, I called it the shark bait because there's a lot of sharks working, man, and they looking for that candy.
That's right.
And so this is some candy. You just bring them right in.
Hell yeah, brought me right in. Yeah, that's nice, bro.
So I like to mix shit a lot, you know.
Oh, you like blends?
So I do like a little blend with let's see, with this one right here. This one.
I'll be seeing that one everywhere, bro. What is that?
So
that's the joint I see everywhere. Zach be pumping that one heavy.
Yeah, this is the LCZ. So it's the lemon cherry with the Skittles, but it's like it's more of a Skittles kind of leaner. Has like a bigger kind of chunk nug to it.
Yeah.
And I like that one a lot.
I fuck with that one too. It's got great terps. 20% more terps.
Yeah, exactly.
Read the back. That's fire.
Exactly.
There you go.
Oh yeah, man. So yeah, we got these little detergent bags.
I love the branding, bro.
Check this one out right here. This one is.
Oh, we got the Aloha Splash, folks. Fresh and clean, all white ash. Oh, what's this? This is different.
Something different, right?
That's different.
It's cherry soap, not zope, but the soap.
Soap, yeah. Soap.
So it's cherry runts and the soap.
I like this, yo. This is fucking cool.
Kush
man.
mints, animal mints, cherry runts.
Yeah, I like that.
Which is probably like a white cherry.
See, this would be my definition of a different variation of candy. You know what I'm saying? I say it all the time.
Little funk to it, a little earthiness, but it's cherry candy.
Give me something a little different.
Yeah.
When I'm in the mood for candy, look, I'm gonna go get some LCG. I'm gonna smoke some LCG, but I don't want that all the time.
This is just like a classic candy right here.
And you gotta have this too.
Yeah, and then this is like something that's completely different right here in the skateboard one. So the Rippers we did, we actually dropped this, originally had dropped it In like September, we did a skate contest with Zach Woods.
Yeah, I know. I was fucking missed that one, dude.
And we'll do it again for
I was
sure.
supposed to
We'll
be
do
there,
one out
dude.
here in Sac.
I got lazy on you. I ain't gonna lie.
We'll do one out in Sac.
Let's collab, bro. I know all the skaters out here. We can make it big, bro.
Jay Worthington, he's the homie. He's made our glass tips right here.
Hell yeah.
That shout out to Jay Worth It.
What's this? I'm sorry.
That's the candy pave.
Oh, candy pave.
So it's a eye candy
pave gas.
wedding cake Kush Mints pave. That's the makeup.
Yo, that shit is some. Yo, you got some cool shit, bro.
Crazy shit, like
That's
just
some cool shit.
And that shout out to Zero Gravity. He's the pheno hunter from Oakland. Shout out to Oakland. Always finding some new genetics.
These are fucking cool, man.
So I like to work with like the homies that are just popping seeds in tents, finding new shit.
That's the only way you're gonna do it, bro.
And then we have the ability now. We could take it to the right people. Oh my bad, man.
Nah, you good, bro.
Shout out to Gotti, bro.
Shout out to Gino.
Shout out to Gino.
You already know.
But yeah, we got these little vape. We got the rosin vapes coming
nice,
right
bro.
here. And
Yeah, give me the lineup, bro. Give me the whole fucking all the SKUs.
This is take one of these.
It's ready to rip?
Yeah, it's ready.
All right, let's do it. Oh, okay.
We got the. This is shout out to the homies in Watsonville.
Yeah, Watsonville gets it. We used to go out there and get big boxes.
This is the Han Solo burger.
Yo, this banana punch is all right.
It's pretty good.
I told you I was sick, bro. I can't give this back to you.
No,
bro.
it's yours. I gave it to you. It's all good. But
yeah, this is cool, bro.
We pretty much just stick with flour is the main thing, and then we got some rosin carts. Probably make some gummies. Here in the future, I like rosin gummies.
You should.
Yeah, that shit's
little
fire.
shark bites or something.
Yeah, bro. Hey, gotta give me commission now.
Like, come on, bro. Shark bites? That's the obvious fucking choice.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to do that for sure. I like the eating the rosin gummies every now and again. Like,
me too, man.
I don't really do the edibles too much, but if I do it, a little like low dose rosin
little 30,
gummy,
little 60.
Yeah, a little 30, 50.
Crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I'll be all right.
Be all right.
And then I like a little mushroom gummy every now and again.
Yeah, every now and again. Yeah,
mushroom chocolate or something like that.
Yep.
But I'm not getting into that part of it yet. But I know that that's a thing one day in the whole holistic healing side. You know.
Yeah.
And then the CBD shit, like the tinctures and the salves and stuff like that too.
Man.
Surfs Up CBD. You know what I mean? Why not? Like, it's always on the healing.
Why not? Yeah.
Of all, and people like don't have access in these other places. Sometimes they don't want to have to go to a sesh or go to these places. They just want CBD to, get them through. And I've seen it a lot in like other states, and I'm like, all right, cool. Let me work on the pain relief and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
My grandma, she's 93. She's on it.
That's kind of like, it's kind of like an untapped market. Like HB, shout out my sis HB from Cadre. She said it on the pod. Like, she was like, "Yo, I think topicals are the gateway drug.
Yeah, that's how you get in
to certain communities, like the older community. They're not about to smoke or do no fucking dab.
No, that's true.
You put a little something on their elbow, like, God damn,
bro, that's
true. Grandma, if you want to hit this one time, it's gonna.
Yeah, just hold this little vape thing.
You feel me? Or the vape, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nowadays, there's a lot of methods of delivery. You know what I mean? Like all the pharmaceutical world and everything. They just like that's how they do it. They just put it in different, easier forms to digest. But for me, I just personally just like joints and hash holes and shit like that because I just like the flower.
Same, bro.
I like to smell it, break it up,
Same.
Roll it up. But I definitely I'll take some dabs every now and again. I kind of treat that as like more of like a dessert or like a delicacy for me. I don't do it as much, but
it's my side gig, I say.
Yeah.
Dabbing's my side gig. I love terps, you know what I'm saying?
I love the terps, man.
You ain't gonna lie, when I've been sick these last 10 days, bro, I couldn't smoke like that. I couldn't taste the weed, bro. So I don't like to just smoke, you know what I'm saying? I like
when I'm sick, I don't do it, yeah.
So I'm just ripping these dabs. I still can't taste the dabs, but they'd get me where I need to be. And it's easy on the lungs. I'm cool. I got my medicine. I'm good.
Yeah, no, I do like...
Actually, super good. I'm high as hell.
Completely different effect, you know?
It is, though. Yeah. It is.
I like the Skittles, terps, and the dab form, like to see the different expressions. I like all that, you know?
Absolutely. But, so, you got anything shaking out in Texas?
Man,
remember we talked briefly about Texas. What's going on out there, boss?
So, bro, that's where we did the First Smoke interview out there. We had talked to them, and at this spot where we were filming, actually, is where we actually have a juice bar opening
Oh, I
up.
love juice bars, bro.
Yeah,
Hell
bro.
yeah.
On some Larry June shit, you know.
Let's go. Let's go.
So
Just keep it shit organic,
on
you heard?
some Jadakiss and
Yeah,
Styles P
yeah,
type
yeah.
shit.
Pharmacy
you
for
know?
life type shit.
So we got me and the homie Lil Mexico. Check out Lil Mexico, man.
Word.
And he's basically got the Agua Frescas going.
Beautiful.
The spot's called Fresca Love. And
Oh, perfect.
So we've been doing like different events like pop-ups and stuff, but we're getting it, licensed for a CBD lounge and Agua Fresca bar.
Nice, dude.
So just no alcohol, but healthy, juices, the sea moss sorbet.
Oh man.
The all the different
good.
healing things for stoners mostly.
Yeah.
Like I've been joking, it's the Stoner Rehydration Center.
That's fucking brilliant, bro. That's brilliant.
Because
yeah.
we got a little spot where you could smoke, in the CBD lounge and everything like
Yeah.
that. And then you got the refreshers right there, because I'm
on
parched
now.
right now.
You need water?
Yeah, I'll take another one.
Got you, bro.
But yeah, that Agua Fresca shit with Lil Mexico style, his little flavor he puts on
That's
it,
dope, man.
alkaline waters and organic fruit, shit like that.
There you go,
And
boss.
shout out to the Texas Juice Man too, man. He's a player in the juice game out
Hell
there.
yeah.
So he's definitely a good one to talk to one day.
I gotta get my ass out there, man. I still have not been to fucking Texas, bro. And I hear nothing
So
but good
random,
things, dog.
bro. I ended up out there. I met Zach and got plugged in with the right
Nice.
people, man.
You just randomly met Zach?
I met him at an event out there.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
And,
that makes sense. He be
I
out
already
there
had
heavy.
hit him up though. I already had hit him up
Okay.
before the event and said, "Hey, I want to do the skate contest. I seen you talk about you fuck with the skaters."
Yeah.
I was like, all right, well, let's do something, because I'm about to I want to do this,
Yeah.
I got these guys lined up in San Francisco that are badass skaters.
Hell yeah.
And so they're down to do it. And Zach came out and we killed this contest. He was like
Shit.
great announcer and
Oh, yeah.
and judge, and he loves sports and shit. He take it
Yeah,
serious.
man.
He killed it.
yeah, bro.
And my man Richie, he's a real skater. He's a filmer. He's with all the guys. And shout out to my homie Pooh Rail on Instagram. Pooh
Hell
Rail.
yeah. Yo, I seen homie too. He gets busy.
He's like Champelli's, model sometimes as well.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Man, he's the man, bro. So he won that contest, and then they ended up doing like a Halloween one and stuff like that. So we just
That's cool.
try to bring the love back to the city a little bit
That's
during
cool.
this time, because
Yeah.
Zach, he started in the city. I was in San Mateo while we were growing. I was in San Mateo
Right,
living,
right.
and so I got mad love for the city and the Bay.
That's cool.
And I
man.
see what's going on, and it just it's fucked up right now.
Yeah, it is.
So just the skaters are such loving groups of people,
Yeah.
and it's always a safe spot if you want to go smoke.
Oh yeah.
In
Go to
every
skate park,
city,
homie.
you could go to Nebraska,
Good, bro.
and you want to find some
man.
weed, you might find it at the skate park.
Yeah, that's I come from that community, bro. The
So you
skate
know what I'm
community.
saying?
Shout out to the skate community, man. Welcome me back after 20 years not being on a board, bro.
Same with the surfers.
Like I just started that day.
You show up at the
All
beach
love.
in any surf community, and you look at the gnarliest surfer, and you ask him, he probably got some weed for you.
Yeah, that's a fact.
If you got some money,
That's a
he'll
fact,
make it
bro.
work.
Yeah.
And that's really how it is in both those communities.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I ended up in Texas, of all places, just at this sesh with Zach, getting plugged in with them, and just really loving the culture down there. Like, I'm from the South. I'm from North Carolina, so like that
Yeah.
Southern hospitality,
Yep.
it's really refreshing to be around sometimes, And the cost of everything is so much better in Texas than
yeah,
I'm
man.
used to Cali prices. I'm like,
bro.
to go to the
I feel you.
restaurant, I'm like, wait, this shit is like half the price of what I was thinking.
And everybody's twice as nice.
twice as nice for the service.
They say
Shit.
good morning to me out here. What the fuck?
Bro, it's crazy. The
Yeah, bro.
Texas folk are just, they got a thriving thing of their own. They're a very entrepreneurial community. It's like they call Houston Hustle Town.
No shit.
So there's tons of small businesses thriving out there.
Mm-hmm.
And the hip hop
cool, man.
culture is huge. And
Oh, it's fire.
I love hip hop.
Same,
you know what I mean?
same.
So I love the Bun B, Pimp C influence,
yeah.
the Scarface, the list goes on. Devin the Dude,
Yep.
Beyonce, Solange, they're from there.
Yep.
I think Megan Thee Stallion's from there. Travis Scott, all the pop stars are from there.
Yeah, right. That's wild. I didn't even
You
know
got
that.
Paul Wall,
Yeah.
Slim Thug, Lil Flip. The fucking list goes on,
Yeah,
bro.
it does.
Houston
Yeah, it
is
does.
crazy. And right now it's that Mexican OT
Yeah, I
and
fucks with him,
Sauce
man. He's
Walker.
cool.
and a couple other cats, man. Shout out to YB Puerto Rico.
Damn.
That's the homie.
Okay.
Big surf god. We call
Okay.
him. So he's
up?
like a fashion guy. as well.
Okay.
He's got a whole clothing line and everything
Nice,
like that.
Nice.
And so what we're trying to do in Houston with this juice spot is sell the merch and do pop-ups for select merch vendors.
Okay, cool.
So like that cultural statement that's going on, you know, right now in the streetwear stuff, a big player in it is Hyde Park. I don't know if you heard of Hyde Park.
No.
So shout out to Hyde Park, bro. Check them out. They did collabs with the Houston Rockets recently.
Oh, no shit. Damn.
Sold out. This area of Houston where this juice shop's at is called Hyde Park, and the neighboring property is where he was living when he started his brand.
Okay.
And so he put us on so much game about this community that it was just like, oh shit, bro, you gotta be the first pop up, you know?
Yeah, it's only right.
And so he's like you know, killing it with the streetwear shit right now. So
Nice.
check out Hyde Park.
I fuck with it.
Yeah, and this shit, if you ever in Houston, you know, check it out on Westheimer, Fresca Love, and we got some fresh juice for you.
Oh yeah, I feel like Houston will be my first stop in Texas, bro. I'll
Yeah.
definitely pull up.
Yeah, man. That's definitely like for me. I see it as like Dallas, kind of like people aren't as it's not as liberal as with the weed shit.
Interesting.
Austin's pretty loose with the weed. Like
Yeah, I've heard that.
chill.
I've heard that.
Houston's like they don't give a fuck as long as it's just not causing no problems. You know?
Okay.
And so like there's so much crazier shit going on. I think you know.
Got you.
And it's decriminalized.
Oh, it's decriminalized. Weed's
Yeah,
decriminalized.
for like,
See, I didn't know.
for QP. or
Okay, I
less.
didn't know that. Because you know what fascinated me about Texas, bro? Like, as mean as they move, respectfully, like, they get busy
In
with
the
weed, in the
craziest
packs. Like,
places.
I got some homies that come out here, and I seen how they travel back home, and I'm like, God damn. For places it's not legal,
Crazy as well.
getting it in, bro.
Crazy
And I
as
respect it. I respect it because I come from that. Shit's good
Some
where
real
I'm from.
cowboys,
now,
bro.
Real cowboy shit. Yeah, I fucks with it. You know what I'm saying?
But they got a long history of the hustle.
Yeah,
And
yeah, see?
Even Burner, his
Yeah.
main day one that like really put him on a lot of game was from Houston.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and he ended up getting killed.
Oh,
but
damn.
You'll hear him talk about his big homie Phil.
Oh, no shit.
And his older shit especially. Like,
Okay.
And Phil was from Houston.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah, so like there's a long history, and yo, shout out to the Texas Shoreline. That's their strain. Like where I grew up, we had the
Is that
VB,
right?
the Virginia Ganny. They got the Texas Shoreline, bro, and it's
What
like
is that?
it's some fire. It's
What
like
is it like
okay,
turquoise?
so it would be like a Kim like headband,
Oh, hello.
like a funky sour Kim headband kind of thing.
Okay.
You know,
I'm with that.
and maybe like there's like a predecessor to the GMO type terp that was going on in there.
Oh shit.
So some like, you know, some funk.
Some real funky.
Yeah, like
gassy.
the Texas Shoreline smells like
Yeah.
funky, you know?
And this is like some new genetics, or this is some shit that's been around for a
Dog,
while.
they're telling me this shit's been around since like early 2000s.
Oh shit.
Only
with the
time I-
sours. Damn.
But the only time I ever heard of it was in the Bay.
Interesting.
At the Purple Lotus in San
I know,
Jose.
yeah, I know Purple Lotus. Yeah.
Had all sorts of flavors back in the day in the Prop 215 shit.
Yeah.
They had one, I just remember they had the Texas Shoreline, and I was like, damn, that shit smells crazy.
Yeah.
Smoking it was like, to think back on it, it was like some GMO type headband cross or
Yeah.
something.
That's cool.
And these guys actually have, shout out to the Wild Boys, they got the Texas Shoreline crossed to something and grown in Texas.
Okay.
And so there's
I fuck with that.
some old unique history to the growers because it's real discreet. But there's
I know none, bro.
in
That's,
Texas,
yeah, that's very
they
discreet.
can't talk about it.
I know.
But there's
Yeah.
definitely some people like, you know.
But think of how dope it's gonna be once it's legal. When they all emerge and we find out who's really behind it. Cause like
Yep.
I don't know. Anyway, my ears pretty in tune, but I'm more in tune like California, little Colorado, little Oregon, little Washington, and East
Yeah.
Coast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean it's a small
I don't know
unheard
much
of
about
scene.
Texas.
Like,
Yeah, no
very
doubt.
underground.
Yeah.
But I
So-
know that they have some strains that are
Yeah.
like specific to their region.
Yeah, that's
know?
cool. That's cool. So for you, my friend, what does the next 5-10 years look like for Surf's Up, bro? What's the plan, man? What's the master plan?
We're in the next like year or so, just launch it on rec markets.
Fire.
Like I feel like Virginia's about to finally do their thing. They passed recreational,
Nice.
but they have no legislation yet. It's been like 4 years almost.
Okay.
So they're finally gonna have to do something. And when that happens, I really, that's where I grew up. So I really want to have a staple over there.
Of course.
And then in Santa Cruz to all the way to northern and southern California. I want to have the Surf's Up shit in by the end of the year. You know, hit a bunch of different spots.
Nice.
And I got some new drops they're gonna be coming where it's like dropping with some exclusive merch. Like if you want the bag, it's all included in this like box set
cool.
with the merch.
Oh, you gotta do cool shit like that for the community, man. It'll help your brand.
And I definitely wanna launch in like the main thing is just setting up the logistics, right?
Yeah.
So like I have the genetics and just getting those into the right places. It just takes so much time to get the mother, take the cuts,
Yo, trust me, I know.
plant it again, veg it again, grow it again.
Trust
So like
me.
it's coming. It's just like California is the first of many, hopefully, in the next 5 to 10.
That's dope.
And hit other states and countries as well, like Thailand. They've legalized cannabis, and it's basically like a free-for-all right now, but they're going to figure it out. They're going to
I'm
have
liking
their little
what's
system.
happening in Thailand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I fuck with Thailand. So
Definitely.
I want to have some Surf's Up in Thailand.
You will.
I want to have it in definitely in the Caribbean because they're legalizing their shit too, and Hawaii. All the surf destinations got to have Surf's Up. That's what
It's
I'm
only
looking
right. It's only right.
at. And these little wave park events, I want to do some shit like that more often for the community as well. Like set it up so it's like a cannabis event with the surf contest going on with the top surfers from around the world. And it's just like surfers and we just go together. We need a little sesh together. You know?
That's a fact, bro.
So if you can help put that together, holler at us.
Yeah, for real. That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope. Let me ask you this, my friend. What do you know that the game should know? Or what you calling bullshit on there that you seeing out there?
Oh man. First thing that comes to mind when you ask me that is kind of like there's a lot of finesse that's going on right now in the game, and so people are putting a lot of finessing little plays together with the snowballs and the spray terps and the just those smalls in the bag, and it's just there's a lot of finessing, man. Like, so the customer's not really like, in most places they're not able to see, even in the rec market, they're not able to see the weed and be able to like make a wise decision all the time, And so like there, as a member of your community that's helping these people, you need to be a good steward of this medicine.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be destroying it with some stuff that you don't know what it's gonna do when it combust when you smoke it, or if at least tell them what it is. Like, if you're gonna spray, that's cool, just tell them, like, but don't try to finesse the customer.
I like that. That's a good word. What's it up, youngest? That's some good advice.
Just do the right thing.
If you had a weed superpower, what would it be? You snap your fingers and X happens.
Man, I don't know. Like, everyone wants to grow it quicker, I guess, but
It could be, you're a grower, so this could totally relate to growing.
I would say
This fixes your worst problem with growing.
Man, something where you can you just basically have a sanitized room instantly.
Instant room flip.
Yeah, you're just like, boom, we're good. We're back to
Nice.
square one, day
Nice.
one, next cycle.
Nice.
Because that shit takes a lot of time and energy. And make sure you don't want to have a dirty room.
Can't
folks.
fuck around.
Nah, so the instant, cleaning crew, I guess.
It's good, man. It's good. Whatever helps
Gotta
you,
keep
my
it
friend.
clean. Gotta keep it clean. That's the first thing that comes to mind, I guess.
So now, my friend, it's time for you to hit us with your top 3 strains of all time. One old school, one desert island, something new you fucking with.
All right, I love
you
this. I love the segment here, but I'm excited. So the old school,
Make us proud.
I'm gonna have to go with that VB Ganny, bro. It was a staple
No
in our
doubt,
community.
no doubt.
It was like
Only
our
right.
haze or whatever if you're from New York, or it was like that one that everyone was like, it kind of changed the game for
Yeah.
us. And I still remember it. I still want to smoke it. It's still a unique kind of terp to it, and people still grow it. So fuck, that's one that I definitely would say is old school.
Hell yeah.
And the new school, man, I would say I'm really liking the perm fucking terps, you know? But the perm waves cut or some other good perms that I've had, or stuff that's similar to that terp.
Sure.
I've been liking that a lot on some new school.
Same, dog.
That's a different kind of gelato sherb biscotti mix.
Good mix.
Yeah. So I'll say that is a new school one. And then the desert island is always, shit. I feel like it got to be something tropical. I feel like I wanna have like some Z or some tropical.
You're on the island, boss. Don't fuck it up. It's the best version of whatever you choose.
I would say trying to think of something super like different, but probably like a good lemon cherry crossed to Skittles, or like a blue sushi. On the desert island, I want the blue zoo.
Blue zoo.
The most top end expensive shit.
Yeah.
On the desert island.
Yep.
Let me get the blue zoo.
Blue zoo. I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Nice. Might have been the first time Blue Zoo came to the island. Nah, I think Be Easy said Blue Zoo. That's his favorite.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
favorite.
Be Easy's my buddy.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
If there was a strain you could bring back, what would it be?
Bro, there was this. Well, that 501st was one, but I think we mentioned that. There was this shit that we were calling peppermint patties. I don't know
Peppermint patties.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like some cookies mixed with. It was like a form cut cookie mixed with something like some grape pie mixed with triangle kush. It was like a Colorado deal, and we lost it. And I was like, fuck, that was the one pheno we didn't back up, one of those situations, and we're just fucked. We were like, did the whole hunt, that was the best one, and then we didn't back that one up. And we're just, one of those.
That's a hurt piece, bro.
Yeah, it was a bad one. But the peppermint patties, I'll go with that.
Nice.
From Colorado somehow. It's one of his.
Nice, bro. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
It was not called that. I was just calling it that because
Okay.
it had a real sweet, what's the little peppermint patty brand? York. Had a York peppermint patty taste to it.
Hell yeah.
It was nice.
That was the first thing I ever stole in my life.
Oh, York?
Peppermint patty.
Oh yeah, bro. That's how it all starts.
It reminds me of my, my 6-year-old gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just feels good when I eat it. I knew, you know what I mean?
So what part of Jersey?
So I'm born in Plainfield, grew up in like Washington, New Jersey, which is like Warren County, and I also grew up in like Montclair, Essex County. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like back and forth. So really just across Route 78, North Jersey.
Gotcha.
I grew up on 78, bro.
Yeah.
Like right
Not
by
far.
80. No, it's not far from Route 80.
Yeah.
And
So
then
you ever been to Bayonne?
Bayonne, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to Bayonne.
I used to date this chick, and her mom lived over there.
Same,
To go eat dinner
same.
and stuff. Yeah.
Shout out to the homie.
Shout out to Bayonne.
You know who you are. And I lived in Elizabeth for 5 years before I moved to Allentown, PA, which is like right over the border.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Cali in 2017.
Yeah, gotcha, man. So
That was my timeline.
I was kind of like, I know there was just so much shit to explain over a 20-year career.
It's a lot. It's a lot, bro.
But I was just like coming out here to stay like since about 2014 and about 10 years now.
Nice, bro.
And then just
Hell
seeing
yeah.
how the game's evolved in that 10 years.
Way more than I've seen.
I can't imagine the next 5 to 10.
Yeah.
It's going to be insane.
Yeah, for sure. Where's your favorite place to smoke, bro?
You know what? It's like, it just depends on where I'm at. I've been traveling a lot.
That's right.
Sometimes the car, but I don't really like to smoke out the car all the time because I got to be safe.
Same.
And so there's other times where I just like the back porch, where I just like the little back porch, little patio area. It's covered, got the breeze, but I'm like not getting rained on if it's raining.
Yep.
And just sit back and, chill
fire.
out for a minute, think for
That's
a minute.
perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
But
I dig that.
The beach is always a good one, but it's just like hella windy a lot of times. So it's
When
just,
people say that was my old answer until like I really learned
on a
what
nice
that's
day,
like
you could do it, but fuck, it's
always
windy
windy.
as fuck at the beach. Not in the sand and shit. It's not the best.
Yeah, exactly.
You learn that as a surfer.
You definitely know that.
But we're gonna make some dope surf merch for the smokers that want to smoke at the beach. Shit that like you could bust open this backpack and lay it out into some mat, and it's all recycled material.
Oh, that's fire.
And so now you could sit on the shit and you ain't gonna get all sandy, and you could have a little windbreaker that comes off the back of the mat.
Okay.
So we'll see.
I fuck with that,
It's coming
bro.
up.
I fuck with that.
Yeah.
That's very innovative.
Yeah. So little shit like that.
And that's what you could do with your brand, bro. Like
what I'm
that's
trying
the
to do.
beauty of like.
Yeah.
That's why I do with good pizza. Like everything pizza. What else is new? What else can I do? You learn how many pivots you got. Like,
Yeah, we have a
shit.
pizza bar in New York.
You feel me?
Pizza
Come on,
Dad
bro.
bar, bro.
Come on, let's go, man.
Shit, I definitely had to hit the pizza pusher while I was there, and that was quite
I still
the
gotta do that. I still
experience.
gotta do that. Yeah, I'm trying to collab with homie too.
Oh yeah, he seemed like he's a real one.
Yeah, definitely. So yo, if you could smoke with two people, one that's dead, one that's still alive, who would they be?
Man, there's so many good people, you know. I was thinking, in the spirit of good pizza, it would be dope to smoke one with Frank Sinatra, and sit there with the fucking boss and
Not that at all.
and all the boys, you know.
Yeah, you know.
And you know, just to have a good, you know, they were smoking cigars.
Maybe have a cigarette after. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be fucking wild.
Yeah, you never know. It's some bourbon, you know. But
You
I
feel
feel
me?
like
It's
Frank
real player
Sinatra,
shit.
man, is a real player.
Yeah.
I want to know what he was thinking back
It'd
then.
be story time for
Like,
sure.
you know, that I just grew up with an Italian family, like my best
Did you?
friend's family.
Nice.
And they would always be, you know, jamming Sinatra and all the
same,
boys.
Same.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
I would say that, and then someone that's alive, it's Willie Nelson, bro. I gotta smoke
That's
with
a
Willie
good one.
pretty
And
soon,
we get starting to be a popular answer.
bro. Yeah, I've hung
Definitely
out with
popular answer.
Lucas, his son,
Is that right?
many times. Like
No shit.
his drummer Anthony, that's the homie.
Oh, no shit, man.
And Anthony's family, they've been in the game for a long time. So
Oh, cool.
We've spent some time like Topanga Canyon and these places and stuff.
Tight.
But I've never got to smoke with Willie. I smoked Willie's weed before.
Gotcha,
It was like
gotcha.
Willie's shit through his son.
Okay, so you know his head stash.
It was all he likes is sun grown. That's
Is
what he
that
said.
right?
He's like he don't like indoor. I was like, oh okay. He's like he always says, imagine if you were outside all summer, how good you would feel. Now imagine if you're stuck in a room under lights for 2 months or 3 months. You know, he's like that's what he would
See, that's
explain.
some
it
OG
like.
shit.
Some OG Willie
I love
Nelson
that,
shit
bro.
right there.
I love that.
And I was like, oh, okay. And I smoked it, and it was the UK cheese, and it was fucking fire.
Oh, nice.
It was fire.
Nice.
And it was like every time they had some shit. Because Willie had a brand. I don't know if he
Yeah,
still
Willie's
does.
Reserve.
Willie's Reserve. It might
Yeah.
still be
I
rocking.
think so.
But basically, those guys are like real culture, you know, people that have been
Yeah.
in the game on the rock and roll
Definitely, bro. Definitely.
side. Yep. So Willie, I want to, you know, play
Solid
poker with
answers,
him.
my friend. So now you're gonna shout out your favorite plug from back in the day, bro. Who took care of you, man? Who was there when you called, brother?
Shit, there's a lot of good people that have been in my life, thank God. But man, I would say probably the original Bird.
Bird?
Yeah.
All right, shout out to Bird, man.
Shout
you
out
know
to
who
Bird.
you are.
He's the one that I was talking about in Puerto Rico that
Oh, say that.
showed me how to, you know, take clones and
Yeah.
do that whole thing. And then he would like, you know, kind of show us what to do and how to do it. And so he was real helpful, and it'd be like, hey man, like so and so, like your house got raided, you got to go help your brother. And he's like, all right, I'll be right there. You know, like
Yeah, that's right.
He's one of those guys. So
Hell yeah.
So now there's been a couple others, you know. Shout out to O's classic. You know, we still, you know, super tight. And
Nice.
then you know, a couple other people. T I was talking about before.
I was waiting for T.
T got to be in there.
All right, so you might want to slow down because plug day is June 16th. That means
Oh.
you got to get a gift for all of them. I said your favorite plug. Now, if you got multiple favorites, you got to do multiple gifts.
Yeah.
That's like if you got 2 girlfriends on Valentine's Day, might got to cut one. You feel me?
Yeah, we're gonna stop there.
Yeah, stop there. You don't got to be nothing crazy. Give
Yeah,
them a
yeah.
joint. You know, if they're no
we'll
longer here,
we'll go with T,
smoke
O,
with
and
'em.
Bird.
shoot them a $20 Venmo. You know, something light.
Yeah,
You
something
know what
like
I'm saying? Something player shit. You know what I'm saying? Let them hold a little something. You know what I'm saying?
Let them hold a little something that day.
Yeah, man. So
No, they let me hold it, so shit, it only right.
That's right.
You know?
So, what's the best advice you think somebody ever gave you in life, bro?
Man, I think, you know, everybody say like you just be yourself and shit, and that's true. That's really true. You got to be yourself, ride your own wave.
Yeah,
You
bro.
know, but you know, a funnier answer for you is this: in the famous movie North Shore, they say when the wave breaks here, don't be there, bruh. And it's because I think that is like so true in this weed shit in this
That's
life,
right.
because everybody's trying to ride the same waves as everybody else, and like if the wave's already breaking over here and you're right there, you're too late, bro.
That's a fact.
It's too late. You might as well, you're gonna get crashed and
Yeah.
burned and get tossed and you might drown. And the better
love
way
that, bro.
the better way is to take a step back,
Yeah.
relax, paddle out, see what's going on, look at the whole horizon of what's really good,
Yeah.
come up with your own plan to ride that wave, you know?
Yeah.
and make your own wave while you're doing it. You know what I mean? So
Dog.
when a wave break hit, don't be there.
This fucking guy effortlessly, yo. I love it, bro. Effortlessly drops surfer analogies, bro. Like the way you say like ride the wave, like it's just so natural. It goes with your brand so easily, bro. It's fire.
I mean, look,
that's
this
good
shit,
pizza, bro.
It's called the wave, bro. I mean, straight up.
Feel me?
We got the wave. It's just fucking.
You a Max B fan? I feel like you have
Fucking
to be.
love Max
Okay,
B,
yeah, just checking, bro.
Max B is.
I was about to say, dog. Come
Whenever
on,
it's time, Max B, we wanna do something.
dog, you have to collab with Max B, bro. You know, through 6 degrees of separation with this cannabis shit, we very well connected to the hip hop community. You could definitely get with him one way or another. You know
I think
it's
it's about that time where he's about to be outside.
Yeah, he's gonna be outside soon, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Wave God, man.
The wave guy, the originator. So I got like these because the love for hip hop as you have as well. So I've been making secretly some mixtapes, some EPs with certain artists, rapping about Surf's Up and just the lifestyle since the last 20 years in the game. So the first one's with Quipto, a legend out of San Francisco.
Okay.
And he had tons of albums with Andre Nicotina, and he's just like always like he's kind of like the Immortal Technique of the Bay. He's always doing what's right for the culture. You know what I mean? He'll stand on the front lines at the Keystone Pipeline when the Native Americans went. Like he's that guy. He's that guy, bro.
That's yeah.
But he's like got a
solid.
kid and shit. He's just like, you know, living his life, but he's a dope storyteller, you know, amazing lyricist.
Fire.
And so we got my friend Brycon on the boards, on the beats, and he's out of SF, working with a lot of people. And he's like somebody from North Carolina that I grew up with.
Nice.
And so he's dope, like kind of like Madlib style beats and shit, like Jay Dilla style.
I got you.
Like old sample.
You said
bass.
Madlib. Damn, I know you from VA or close to VA.
I mean, I love.
That's fucked up. Uncle Murder took the rap up here from, ain't it?
Oh man,
you know what I'm
no.
talking about?
I think you talking about the other guy.
I'm talking about some other. Never mind.
Yeah, no, Madlib's LA like work with MF Doom.
You're right.
You know,
what the fuck am I thinking of?
I know who you're thinking
what I'm
of,
talking
but
about,
I can't even think of the right name right now. But it's a VA legend.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, no, I forget what the name is right now.
Hey man, it's some Brooklyn shit, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But no, we've been working on these
shit.
This little mixtape shit is really the best way to just market for the culture if that's your thing.
Yeah, bro.
And so like it's just telling stories like how about like, you know, shipping packs, so telling stories about fucking getting harassed and stories about like how the culture's changed from like where you used to go to the park to get the weed to now it's like this like a MedMen facility and shit.
Right.
Like,
it's crazy.
what? So Quipto's really good at just telling that story.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be dropping that in a little box set.
Yeah, let me know. I'll grab one.
Yeah. A little QR code, you know.
Hell yeah. So yo, bro, before we get up out of here, man, I gotta rip you through some rapid fire questions. One word answers.
Oh, one word. All right.
One word answers. Good luck, sir. You ready?
Get my water ready.
All right. Do you like to smoke in the hot or the cold?
Probably rather the hot.
On land or on sea?
Out at sea, surfs up, baby.
Bongs or bowls?
Bongs.
Joints or blunts?
Joints.
Cold start or hot start?
Cold start.
Rig or Puffco?
Rig.
Street smarts or book smarts?
Streets, baby.
Love or fear?
Love.
Love or respect?
Shit, respect.
Fear or respect?
Fear, respect?
Yeah.
I would say respect over everything.
Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Haze or sour?
Shit, man. It's sour.
Nas or Hove?
Fuck. That's a... Hove's the business man of the century, but Nas is the best lyricist. So I'm going to leave it.
That's what we leave it? Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat?
Oh, fuck. Mortal Kombat. I'm going to go with that.
Regular doinks or hash holes?
Hash holes. Shout out to CGO.
Shout out. Past that or I'm smoking this to the face?
Smoke it to the face.
Favorite Ninja Turtle?
Michelangelo.
Nice. 80s or 90s?
Oh, fuck the 80s.
Coke or Pepsi?
I'm from Carolina, man. I got to say Pepsi.
Is that a thing?
That's a Carolina thing.
Okay,
it's
North Carolina.
Born in the Carolinas, bud.
North Carolina. I didn't
Pepsi.
know that.
We got one thing. We got barbecue and we got Pepsi.
Is that fucking right? Shit, pizza facts on the show. I love it.
Straight up.
All right, pizza or tacos? Let's get down to business.
I've been in Cali so long. There's not the greatest pizza, so I just.
Here we fucking go.
But I've been in New York, and that's the fucking Mecca. So, man, I would say I'm probably going with tacos on this one. I'm sorry, even though I'm on the Good Pizza podcast.
It's been said before. Pizza with pineapples or no pineapples?
Oh, nah, no pineapples for me.
Tacos or burritos?
More of a. I feel like San Diego's a burrito spot, and LA and everywhere else is a taco spot.
All right.
I'm gonna go with that one. I'm gonna stick with that.
That's your final answer?
That's my final answer.
All right.
San Diego for burritos.
Beach or snow?
Beach.
In-N-Out or Five Guys?
Man, I'm probably gonna go. I actually, it's crazy as fuck. The homie growing up, he introduced me to one of the brothers, the Five Brothers.
Oh, no shit.
And those motherfuckers worked hard as shit to get to their thing. So I'm gonna go with Five Guys.
I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, real hustlers.
The Wire or The Sopranos?
Shit.
Back to business.
Bro, shit. Man, I love both of those.
Of course you do,
But
man.
I'm gonna go with Sopranos.
Oh,
I'm gonna
man.
go with Sopranos. Yeah.
Pacino or De Niro?
God damn. That's tough, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna go with Pacino.
Automatic or revolver?
Shit, give me the automatic.
Godfather 1, 2, or 3?
I'm gonna do the original.
Smoke Disney cards or last year's outdoor for 1 month? What you choosing, boss?
Bro, I would probably do last year's outdoor. Yeah.
Jack or Blue Dream for the rest of your life?
Blue Dream, baby.
You're lost in the woods. You get a pack of matches or a hatchet for survival. What are you going with?
I'm probably going with the fire.
Getting chased by a shark or a bear? What do you choose?
Sharks don't even bother me no more. Like I'm just
Yo.
stick with the bear.
Everybody goes bear, bro. I knew you was going to go shark, bro. So you're stranded in a forest fire, or you're stranded on a sinking ship in shark-infested waters.
Bro, the forest fire thing, the farm and shit, that shit would look super gnarly. I wouldn't want to be around that, but shark-infested waters, you're going to have a mental breakdown before you even get bit. So I'll probably go with the forest.
No doubt. Body shot or face shot by Mike Tyson in his prime?
If you're going to do it, you might as well just knock me out, bro. Just hit me in the head and knock me out.
Shot of 151 or a hot dab?
Man,
900.
Either of them sound terrible, but
It's bad, bro.
I would probably do the 151.
Okay.
I've had too many bad experiences with the hot dab and some BHO and shit.
I feel like I've had bad experience with both.
Yeah.
But
bro.
yeah, the BHO days murdered me. Gelato Runs Terps or OG Gas Terps?
Man, I would say right now I'm going to probably go with the Gelato Runts.
Tupac or Big?
Man, I'm going to stick with, even though Tupac's so fucking legendary, I'm East Coast Biggie. You know, I got to go with Biggie.
All right. Big L or Big Pun?
Damn, that was crazy. Fuck. Big L.
Dipset or D Block?
Fuck, bro. You really
I'm throwing them
on
at
some
you,
hip-hop
dog.
shit, yeah.
You know you on the East, man.
I gotta go with
I
go with Dipset.
Pause.
I gotta go with Dipset. on that one.
Dipset? All right. Wu-Tang or Death Row?
Shit, I'm Wu-Tang.
All right. Oh, yeah, again and again. Good shit, my bro. Yo, before we get up out of here, man, I'd just like to share the Power Network and how did we meet and who do you know that I should know to get on the show? So
Man.
I think we met at Liddy, right?
I think we met originally at Liddy in the
You
City.
came up and introduced yourself.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
remember North Carolina. I'm like, oh, that's what's up, man.
Yeah,
And
not
I
too
kept
many of
seeing
us.
you and seeing like, oh yeah, Surf's Up. And then Zach did something with you.
Yeah,
And you was
yeah.
just everywhere, bro.
Yeah, I
I'm
just
like,
been on it.
I'm like, oh, this guy's out here, man. And then I heard your interview on the other podcast. You know what I'm saying? And
I'm
I was
just
like,
trying
okay.
my best to just, let them know, like, we're good people and shit like
Yeah,
that. So
man.
it's just, now it's time to, like, kind of put the brand out there before it was just not the right time. So
Yeah.
here we are. We're going to do it. Let's do it right. you know?
Absolutely, bro.
Let's have fun with it, too.
Absolutely, bro. I love it.
But
Bro.
I would say somebody
Love what you're doing, man.
to bring on the
Yeah, we should bring
show.
on.
Man, there's so many talented people in the game and shit like that. trying to think of somebody that hadn't been on here. Like, man, I would say you could always have another good conversation with Uncle Zach, and it would be entertaining as well. But I would say
he's in my round 2 lineup.
Yeah, round two for sure. But let me think for a second. I love that you have Gino's got such a nice dude.
That was a legendary fucking show at Cookies NYC. Shout out Cookies NYC for hosting us. Yo, that shit was lit.
There's so many good people you've done, so I'm trying to think of somebody.
I'm blessed, bro. Big blessed.
You know what, man? The homie that makes the nutrients that we use. He's a good friend. He's from North Carolina too. But his name's Ambrosia Crops.
Okay.
His company's Ambrosia Crops. He makes nutrients.
Okay.
He come from the trap. He's been in the game.
Right on, bro.
But he's a just an interesting plant science person. He could really tell you.
That sounds cool, man.
A lot of
I really
science
covered that
and nerd
side
out
of the game
on
my
that
show.
part.
Yeah. Plug us up, bro.
Yeah. Ambrosia Crops. He's quite the interesting dude for sure.
Cool.
He'll talk to you.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that's that. I'll leave it with that.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. Well, yo, before we get up out of here, man, anything you want to plug, anything we could reach into our audience and help you, man, please do so now.
All right, so yeah, like I said, we basically got a bunch of flour. You can hit us on the Instagram at Surfs Up Exotics, all one word. And then we got a spot actually in Houston for the Surfs Up CBD line. And if you're ever in Houston, Texas, hit us up, man. Fresca Love. Shout out to Little Mexico. And we basically got something dropping in the next couple months in the rec market, Southern California, Northern California. Keep on the lookout for that. We'll keep you posted on that. And then the next step is basically just trying to line it up with the Palm Springs Surf Park for a surf contest cannabis event. Holler at us.
Love it, bro. Thanks for coming out, my brother.
Yes,
great story,
sir.
man.
Always
Appreciate you sharing, man.
I always appreciate your interviews. You have a great style about it,
bro.
and I can tell you really love this shit, and you've been in it for a minute. So
that's a fact, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate that, dog. So you already know, man. Hit up my bro, Surfs Up. You already know when the pack lands, Surfs Up. Good pizza. Hit the link, like, subscribe, share, hit the Patreon, support your big cool Gene. Let's keep this show on the road, man. I love y'all, man. Thank you so much for the support. Peace, love, good pizza. We'll see y'all next time.